Yo, what's the deal? I'll be starting pretty well. I'm supposed to start right now. This is your boy LiLSilver, you know, YouTube gamer, just giving my point of view on Impact Wrestling and what can they improve and what they need to improve to get back up to that level like they once was. Because they are owned by Anthem Sports Entertainment, which owns Access TV and a lot of cable networks. They're a billion-dollar company, so that means Impact ain't broke if they're owned by Anthem Sports Entertainment. But we're gonna talk and discuss, and I'm gonna show you um, a video by uh, the Impact Lounge that covers Impact Wrestling and just speaks the truth and tell them what they need to improve as well. You know, we need more of us to speak out because hundreds turn into thousands. Thousands turn into millions of viewers and fans that can call out to Anthem Sports Entertainment to get them to bring Impact Wrestling back up to their TNA level like they once was. Without further ado, let's get into it. I want y'all to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and support Impact Wrestling. The description on how to support them is in the description under this video. You can purchase their merch. You can buy tickets to the events. You know, any little bit helps for real. Cause like ain't nothing live like seeing Impact Wrestling live. That's for sure. But yeah. Um, without further ado, I would be stopping the video I'm about to play. Um, as well as giving y'all my thoughts on if they right or if they are too harsh on Impact Wrestling. Which I mean, you can never be harsh on a wrestling company because you want them to improve, right? But yeah, sometimes they could be a little bit harsh, but you know, I'll let y'all be the judge. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, I'll be right back. Something. Okay, we're back, and let's get into it.
Welcome back to the Impact Lounge. You are in the number one place to be for the Impact Wrestling fan. This is the Cool Factor Podcast. I'm your host, TW, and of course, the man with the plan over here, BQ. Say what's up to the people.
Yo, what up, everyone? You pointed the right direction this time, so that was good.
I did. I got it. I'm getting it.
Oh, yeah, I messed up. I tried to do it.
see?
There we go. All right.
You gotta figure it out. It's like everything's backwards. We'll get used to it the more we do this, the more we work with StreamYard. Shout out to StreamYard, the finest of state-of-the-art streaming software for all your podcasting needs up in here. StreamYard, if you're watching this, go ahead and feel free to drop a sponsorship on your
free plug there. Wow.
Oh yeah, like, I know. Look at that. But we upgraded. You know what I mean? We upgraded here in the lounge. This is nice, man. This is nice. We got this cool software we got to stream, and we are vamping just a little bit here. See if people are gonna jump in here in the chat. But if not, it's okay. You'll just catch this on the record on the pod. It will be live on YouTube as usual. But for anybody catching this on YouTube after the original stream. Oh, by the way, happy July 4th. Okay, happy July 4th. This is a great holiday. We all like to spend time with family and buy illegal fireworks, depending on what state you live in, and risk literally our fingertips in shooting them off. I'm not much of a fireworks fan. Are you a big fireworks guy?
I like this. I mean, I celebrate,
Hmm.
appropriately. We'll go watch them and everything. You mean like watching? You're not a big guy. You're not
Well, yeah, I
100%
left it
watching
open
stuff.
ended. I left it open ended because there's like there's two ways, right? There's two kind of fireworks situations we typically have. Um, One is going to the fireworks, which where I live in like the map of my town, I'm like a half mile from like the downtown area where they do all the fireworks displays and stuff like that. So I hear everything, but there's a lot of trees around like my house and in my neighborhood. This is a very, wooded tree filled kind of neighborhood. And so I can't like see them. Like in a perfect world, I'd be able to sit like on my deck and like just watch the fireworks and you know what I mean and just and watch them that way.
Okay, this guy named David Fox. Shout out to David Fox for being a fan of the Impact Lounge. You feel me? He said, "I hope they come back to the UK again. They'll hope they will be great again." Well, I think he's saying that he hopes that Impact Wrestling comes back to the UK, in their hopes that they will be great again, like um they was when they was TNA Impact. And man, Impact Wrestling has a loyal fan base overseas because, like I said, when they was in Mexico, they pulled in a lot of people, and it was a big arena. They looked like the billion-dollar company like they are, because Anthem Sports Entertainment is a billion-dollar corporation. Um, but yeah, they need to start going overseas for sure. Do this right. Let y'all get back into it.
Way without having to like go down in the crowds amongst all the musty citizens of the town. And but the other part of the fireworks celebration that we see so frequently is the street legal or illegal, whoever cares, fireworks displays that take place where people go and get these boxes and buckets and crates of fireworks and just light them off in the middle of the damn street. Um, which do you partake in?
We just go somewhere and watch. And if we
Okay.
can get away from just staying in the car,
Yeah.
we'll try to do that. Or if we can like put chairs next to the car type of thing. Last year it was pouring rain, so we had to just
Uh,
stay in our vehicle. I mean, pouring, so we just had to stay in our vehicle. But I don't do
did the
nothing.
rent?
I buy my younger kids like the little kid shit you can do in the front yard,
Yep.
poppers, all that kind of crap. But
Yeah. Yeah. Man, like I honestly I don't get what people's fascination is with fireworks. Like I don't mind them, and actually like as an activity, like I do like watching them. Right, like when you go to like Disney and they do these amazing fireworks displays that are like set to music and lights and all this stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, that's amazing. Or if you go to like Vegas and you see like what's they don't do fireworks in Vegas. It's like the water show at the Bellagio. But like
yeah,
I like all types of stuff like that. But people to just like lighting the little firework on the stick and choo 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 choo. Like I'm like yo, like I don't get the fascination. You know what I mean? Like, and then the other thing is the people that like the loud, the super loud fireworks. Like oh my god, yesterday I had a little family get together in the backyard. Everybody's chilling, eating, whatever, yada yada yada. Neighbors decide they want to just shoot off a giant loud fire. Like, boosh. I'm like, oh, dude, like, why? Like, are you like living out your fantasies of being a demolition expert? I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
TW
get the
is right
appeal
about
of
that.
just loving loud booms. You know, I mean, even like when I go to like the gun range, right? Like it's it takes me.
Okay, somebody else left a comment while they was talking about that. Uh, Jug Nate 009. Sorry, I messed up your name. You know, if you watch your minds, but Jug, I'll just call you Jug for short. Um, he said BQ is wearing a Jade shirt, which I think Jade is Mia Yim, because I think she went by Jade when she was first in Impact Wrestling. Now she's Mia Yim. Um, yeah, like I said, you gotta support Impact Wrestling. Buy their merch. The description is in my video um, under here. Um, just click on it. It's impactwrestlingshop.com. The link is in the description. Support Impact Wrestling. If you want these people to get better, get back to what they once was when Anthem Sports Entertainment first bought them, because I got two other videos, like I said before, about how they could get back to that level, like in 2017, because they was in a nice arena. Like I said, they need to bring back the six-sided ring, turn the camera from the entrance to regular, put the announce. Now, um, I'm gonna get into this anniversary thing if they talk about it, but if they don't talk about it, I like how they put the announce table. It wasn't looking tacky. It wasn't like in the corner somewhere like at ringside. It was like it was like in the audience, and then if somebody joined them on commentary, the talent will walk up there and be on at the announce table, and it was a perfect setting. I mean, like how they had the announce table, it was a breath of fresh air. But yeah, I'll let y'all get back to what they talking about.
A while to settle in from all the bok bok bok. You know what I mean? Like it's just not like everybody's different though. Some people love it, I guess. Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, I don't. It don't. I mean, I've been had a couple of deployments to Iraq where we're here all night. So I mean, it's I can sleep through it. It's not end of the world, but I will be glad when I'm not going to bed to it, as I have the last couple nights, and will tonight,
Right.
probably the next night too, when it's not even the fourth anymore.
Right, yo. That's the thing too, man. It's like, yo, like the fourth is the fourth, right? But the people who love fireworks, it's the fourth from June 15th to damn August 18th. Like any excuse for like shooting off fireworks, man. People are just with it. It's crazy. But yo, man, people love what they love. You know what, like as long as you're not like infringing on my happiness, whatever. But I'm seeing some of the comments pop in and people are ready for us to get talking about Against All Odds. Real quick before we do that, everybody who's watching, go ahead and hit that like button.
If I said Slammiversary, my fault. The pay per view was against our odds, but how they had the announce table, it was amazing and against our odds. I mean that how they had it with the art instead of having it like in the corner, which was whack. Having it like that was good. I wanted them to have it like WWE has it like you know like toward the back of the ring, like but that worked too. And it was an amazing good look for the announce table to be.
Button on the YouTube chat. Hit the subscribe button so you are subscribed to the channel. Since we are live, everybody go ahead and share this. Share this out on your social media feed so everybody can, see this fly talk that you're listening to, this conversation that we.
Yes, make sure you go right here. You type in the Impact Lounge. Okay, they got 7K subscribers. Keep growing the movement and support these guys. These guys are very reliable when it comes to Impact Wrestling news. TW and BQ Speaks. They're on every social media of your choice: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Support them. Um, and yeah, subscribe to they thing and hit the notification bell. Because these guys are very reliable when it comes to Impact Wrestling.
We are getting into right now. As always, the best thing you can do is tell a friend to tell a friend and bring more people into the conversation. So, with that said, without further ado, BQ, what did you think about Against All Odds?
Yo, this show I think was their best monthly special. I really do. I can't think of one. Usually they do a very good job. They always seem to deliver on these. I can't think they haven't had a bad one, I don't think, under the Anthem banner. When they first started doing the Twitch and the monthly shows, like a lot of them freaking sucked. And the crappy thing is they had a lot more viewers at the time because it was
Hmm.
something so new. But then they were having all the technical difficulties with tweeting. Well, I don't know if we got it this time. I didn't watch it live.
Hmm.
Um, now it took them a while. They got to a point where they were doing the monthly specials and no one was watching. And now I
Hmm.
think people are getting interest again because they're really good shows. But this one here, I
Yeah.
just thought, like, really from top to bottom. Um, Emmett 1860 said the show was great. The one bad thing was Penzer. He I keep saying this, and there's a lot of people like, oh well, he's a legend, he's this and this, but I mean, you're seeing when there's a live broadcast how much he struggles. And
Right.
I've been told multiple people that's how it is when you're there for the television tapings. They edit around him quite a bit,
Right.
you know. Um, but yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
overall, there wasn't, I don't think, anything I disliked on the show. There's some things I liked more than others, obviously, but they just killed it, man. Like
Yeah.
it was it looked good.
Hmm.
I mean, they had a bleacher set up for once, which people have been asking for because that makes it look like there's more people. And even when it's darker in the arena,
Hmm.
you still just can see more faces.
Yes.
That's a good point. That is what I've been wanting Impact to do forever. Get into arenas like that where you can see the fans sitting up high, and even if it's dark, you can still see the fans. And they looked it great. But I want them to go into a bigger arena, get more lighter. But it was good. I'm not gonna lie. I agree with 'em.
Now, where we were looking on screen, they didn't appear to have as many rows of people,
Hmm.
visibly that they typically do.
Right.
So, that's why I think a lot of us want them to get away from that setup because it just looks like there's, eight people at the show.
Yep.
But you could hear everyone very, very well. Just it just looked good. They experimented with some new graphics,
Hmm.
for the names and everything. So it just that's always what I'm asking for. Make something look and feel different.
Yes.
The theme song for it was pretty good that they were playing, which I'm always saying. I'm looking into the wrong camera here. I'm always saying, why don't they play that stuff during the episodes during the week instead of all the We Own the Night to where it just
Yes, I agree with BQ. Um, we on the night needs to retire. They've been having that song, I think, since they was on Tuesday's night when they used to be on Tuesday night before NXT took over that day. Um, we on the night needs to retire. Bring back the old TNA theme or the theme they had against our odds. Because even WWE, after a while, they old theme will get stale, and then they'll come up with a new one. And Impact Wrestling needs to retire We on the Night because this ain't 2019. I'm sorry, it needs to go. This is 2022. You know, retire that theme.
feels like you're just promoting Impact.
Hmm.
But yeah, they did a excellent job. This is probably the best one I think that they've done, and a couple of the matches were amazing. I
Yeah.
don't, I've always say I don't have too much interest in the hardcore stuff,
Right.
but they were pretty good as well. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Totally agree. Hold on, I got to sneeze.
Okay, Jug. He said they need to bring back Christy Hemme back to be announced. And yes, Christy Hemme did great at Slammiversary. She made Impact Wrestling look like the billion-dollar company that they are. She is excellent on the mic, and I agree with Jug that she needs to come back. Bring her back. If they got her for Slammiversary, you know they could get her again on a permanent basis. Her announcing skills are great. Bring back Christy Hemme Anthem Sports Entertainment if you can, and if she want to do it.
Woo! Excuse me. Um, yeah. So I definitely I agree with a lot of that. Like my just initial thoughts to begin with. Um, the crowd was amazing for this show. It was an awesome crowd. The crowd was loud, energetic the whole time. Building definitely was not a sellout. Um, we could see some of the empties in the crowd, even with the audience blacked out. But center stage is just a great venue for wrestling. It is especially Impact Wrestling. Like I saw NXT did a show there a couple years ago, and to me it didn't look nearly as good because their production is so good at Full Sail. And it's just like it's a different setup. But you're talking to somebody who grew up watching WCW Saturday Night 605 on the Superstation, baby. And I and so like center stage, like it was to me, it was a great setup. That is it's just is great for wrestling. For those who don't know, center stage is basically like a theater, but the way it's set up, it has like stadium style seating, but in a very small space. It's a very small space. But again, for a small wrestling show like Impact Wrestling, this is perfect. There's enough space, for like your ring setup. And again, just like BQ said, with that stadium style seating, you're seeing fans like ascending up, so that looks just like a big arena. You know what I mean? Like not like it doesn't look like a WrestleMania like in a stadium, but you're watching the ring, and in the background you're seeing like rows of fans ascending up, and it just feels right. You know what I mean? It feels right. And like my thought watching the show was like, this should have been Slammiversary. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they should have like, you add the all the Slammiversary festivities to it, and then if you get this crowd, I understand why they did Nashville. It was a big anniversary. Like, I totally get that. But I don't know. I think Atlanta is just a great wrestling city. And the last few times Impact has been there, the crowds have been very good. So I'd like to see them play center stage some more. I think if they can, like I think center stage should be like the goal. Selling out center stage. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a goal Impact could set. If Impact can sell out center stage, it is going to look and feel and sound so amazing. And I'm going to stop right there because I'm doing that thing that I'm telling people to stop doing, which is wish casting for Impact. But
Wait a minute. I'm gonna cut this guy off. TW, um, no one ain't wish casting. We gotta have more of us to speak out in order for Anthem Sports Entertainment to listen and get them back into bigger arenas. Impact Wrestling is a legendary company. Like it or not, they were TNA Impact. Okay? TNA Impact Wrestling. They used to be TNA Impact. So I want everybody to get that through their head. And if hundreds of us start making videos on YouTube and what they need to improve, Anthem Sports Entertainment will listen. The only way to improve something or to make change, we as a wrestling community have to be that change. Okay? We as a wrestling community has to be that change for Impact Wrestling to get back to the level like they used to get back, like they used to be. When Anthem Sports Entertainment bought them in 2017, I showed the crib. The arena was good. It sounded good. They had a six-sided ring, which defines who they are. They had a professional announce table. They had the fans sitting up high, ascending high, like TW said. But I disagree with him on that. We need, we have to have hundreds turn into thousands, thousands turn into millions in order to get this company back to where they used to be. They are a legendary company. They've been around for 20 years. This is TNA Impact, and we need to treat them with respect. And in order to get them back to that level, we gotta make that change. And Anthem Sports Entertainment, by God, I bet you, they will listen. You see, they had a nice arena, you know. a great arena that they should had for Slammiversary, Um, but yeah, I'm gonna try to get back into listening to you. Them. I just wanted to point that out. You know, I disagree with them on that, but we gotta make that change.
But like, but based on the size of the venue and the construction of the venue, like to me, that is perfect for Impact, man. Absolutely perfect. And if they can get to a point where they can sell out center stage with a hot show, Impact is gonna feel like the way we want Impact to feel. You know what I mean? Like right now. Um, so yeah, that's just
I'll first to point this out. Okay, Jug, comment this. I wish Impact would shoot different angles. I hate how they have hard cam to the ramp. I said the exact same thing several times. Turn the camera regular, like you used to have it. Don't have it pointing at the stage, okay? That's whack. Have it pointing like WWE, so we can see the fans, okay? Like y'all used to point it. That is whack. Why do you point the camera at the freaking stage? Okay, if somebody come out, cut to the stage, then cut back, like you used to do. Don't have it point at the stage, you know? After Sports Entertainment, fix that.
just those are like my initial thoughts. And like you said, there were some of the matches that were absolutely amazing. And we're actually going to go down the card here and we're going to talk about a lot of this stuff. Do you have the card pulled up, or should I get that card pulled up?
Yeah, I mean, I have it within my notes,
All right,
what order they went in, but
let me just pull up the
Justin Johnson said, shout out to the fans in the building. The environment was better than Slam. And it was. That arena was how I pictured that Slammiversary should have been. So, yeah, they need to go to arenas like that. That's what I want to see. And when they start selling out arenas like that, they could get back up to bigger arenas, But baby steps first, But we can't give up on Impact Wrestling. We gotta push them to get higher and higher and higher into bigger and bigger arenas. Anthem Sports Entertainment is a billion-dollar corporation, which Impact ain't broke. They can afford anybody with ease. And speak of anybody with ease, Sasha Banks. Sign her Impact. She's a major talent. Give her how much ever money you can offer her. Offer a good deal. Give her free reign of her character because WWE never did that. And if she goes to AEW, they're gonna just treat her the same way. So Anthem Sports Entertainment give Sasha Banks, which she will be going by Mercedes, which is her real name, because WWE owns Sasha Banks' name. Give Mercedes what she wants. Bring her into the Knockouts division. Pair her with Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans. Make them a trio, okay? Make them uh, Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champions. Savannah Evans and Mercedes, which is Sasha Banks' real name. And she will be going by that since WWE owns Sasha Banks' name. But yeah, Anthem give Impact unlimited amount of money to sign this major, major talent. That's will help Impact Wrestling get to the top sooner than everyone think. Because don't sign no indie, no, no, no. Don't sign no indie talent. NXT tried that. WWE NXT tried that, and you see what they got. They had to reinvent themselves and release all those indie talent that they signed. Okay, they went elsewhere, but sign Sasha Banks. Anthem Sports Entertainment. If you can hear me, someone share this video, like it, subscribe, share this video with Anthem Sports Entertainment, Impact Wrestling. Far and wide, we need Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes, which she will be going by Mercedes if she decides to go to Impact Wrestling, because Impact Wrestling can afford any major talent. They signed the Good Brothers. They re-signed the Good Brothers, for crying out loud. And the Good Brothers ain't cheap. They are not cheap. Okay, maybe what AEW didn't give them what they wanted, but they stayed with Impact. You know, Impact is treating them real good. But they're sign Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes. Sign her.
The typical, usual.
And you're talking about with the seating. If you just think of when they were doing it in Orlando, like it just looked better, and there was still 200 people there. You know what I mean? Some on a good night 300,
Right.
but it looked good. It just looked like there was more people there.
Right. And here's the thing too. If you have a venue that seats, 600-700 people, and you have 300 there, you can just push all 300 down to the bottom of the bowl, eliminate the pockets of empties, and just, you know what I mean? Like let all the empties be above a certain level. You know what I'm saying? And
I'll be right back. Good evening. I can tell you the feeling here in Highland Park is kind of twofold. Number one, of course, they are devastated by the shooting, 24 injured, 6 dead, but also because they're recognizing that their Independence Day, the 4th of July, is going to be different. Okay, let's get back into it.
it'll just look packed up to a certain point. Like that's the smart way to do it. Like that's the way that Impact did it, when they first kind of started having these shows where there were just noticeable like big pockets of empties. They would move everybody to the hard camera side, you know what I mean? So it looked like there were people there. And to me, that's the smart way to do it, man. Like little things, man. It's funny because all the people who run Impact Wrestling are not new at promoting and organizing and staging a wrestling show, but it seemed like there's always like just little details that go
Unnoticed or
yeah
unaddressed.
right. Yeah, just like little stuff like that. Like again, I also know that like once you get people into the show, like you don't want to be like, oh well, you paid for this ticket, but you're getting this ticket instead. But also if it's like an upgrade situation, you know what I mean? It's like if you get everybody there and you're like, it's a point where, okay, boom, we feel, we feel like we have a good feel for the walk ups. And plus when people walk up, people aren't usually walking up trying to buy a front row ticket. People are usually walking up trying to get like the cheapest available seat. So like, again, just move everybody down so it looks as full as possible around the ring and the stuff that's going to hit the camera immediately, right? Like you gotta, a little bit of inside baseball. When you're shooting a TV show, you frame out all your shots so you know what every shot is going to look like. You know what I'm saying? So like when you have your typical hard camera shot of the ring, like how many rows of seats are going to be in the shot. You can make sure that there are fans up to that certain level where the hard camera shots are going to be.
Right.
And then you frame up your second and third level shots and you get those as best as possible to where you're always going to be shooting to where it looks like there's fans. You know what I mean? Like, again, think of all those Impact shows where like on the side of the camera, there was absolutely no fans, like there's, I'm not saying anything they don't already know, but it's just, it's a little trick, the magic of TV. That's how you do it. All right, let's get.
Justin Johnson made a comment here, like this might have been better than this was better than
This
Slammiversary.
was
I
better than
thought it was.
Slammiversary. This was 100% better than Slammiversary.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Let's see here. We'll skip the pre-show stuff. Rich Swann losing the Digital Media Championship to Brian Myers. In general, what do you think about that? Rich Swann losing the Digital Media Championship to Brian Myers.
So I wasn't jazzed about that at all. Which when these kind of things happen, it's kind of like, hey, Rich Swann was obviously a transitional champion, but I think Cardona wasn't supposed to lose the belt to him when he did. Obviously there was the injury, so I think this was all just a way of getting the belt back on Brian Myers so it could remain in their camp.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, totally agree, 100%. I think like Cardona got hurt, and they wanted to keep that title in the Brian Myers, Chelsea Green, Matt Cardona ecosystem. So that to me that was the best way to do it.
So that's clearly what they were doing. I don't think Swann was ever supposed to beat Cardona for the title. I know they were gonna feud.
Yeah,
it makes Swann look. I don't want to say makes him look bad, because I don't think Rich Swann can look bad as far as he just always puts on such good matches.
Right.
I feel like he can be heated up quickly if you need to, but it's like we talk about this all the time. Loses the world title, and it's just downhill from there. And now he's on a pre-show. You know what I mean? Like, what other company would do a pre-show featuring a former world champion on it at all?
I think he did it. I think he did an interview later tonight with Gia Miller. He said, "I was about to start a new MySpace."
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, that was great. Now previous to that, I was like, "Yo, maybe Swann's done." Like,
yeah,
it almost feels like maybe that's where it's going a little bit. But then when he did the little interview, I'm like, maybe he's sticking around. I don't know, but this was just done to keep the title in the camp. I will say, this pre-show was probably their best pre-show they've done. Usually they have matches on there. It's like, in the past they've had some of the most BS matches on the pre-show, and now they're ones that people actually want to tune in for. Oh, right. Let me watch the show. So the pre-show is funny because some people don't want titles on there, but and then at the same time, they don't want matches that mean absolutely nothing on there. Like, it's
right.
The Knockouts tag team title shouldn't be on there. So I was like, so what, we're gonna have, two whatevers wrestle that in a match that means nothing? Like, how does that promote the show? So it's a weird place, man. So I think it's a good place, that pre-show. I think it's a good spot for the Digital Media Championship because it is on YouTube.
Right.
During a pre-show, I think it's a good place for the Knockouts Championships. Like, you kind of want to have the underneath titles on there a little bit, so it means something.
Right.
I keep bringing up the times that the pre-show was, Jake something and Cody Deaner, the Deaners versus Triple XL. Like, what is that going to do for your show? You know what I mean? So this was a killer pre-show, and I enjoyed both the matches a lot. I guess are we going to comment on Black Taurus and Laredo Kid at all? I know you said
you like. Go ahead. What was your thoughts on Black Taurus and Laredo Kid?
So when this match was happening, it kind of gave me that, okay, this is going to be a good show, because you had two guys come out who probably wrestled 100 times in Mexico. I know one's with Crash, the other's AAA, but you've given two guys come out there who the fans are not conditioned to care about at all.
Right.
Because Laredo Kid doesn't beat anybody. He's just out there for number one contender, X Division, 3-way titty fuck matches. And then Black Taurus and Decay in general don't win. So, we're not conditioned to care about either of these guys, but the fans were behind them both when they came out. It wasn't like they didn't come out to crickets or anything like that. So that's when I was like, yo, this is going to be a hot crowd. I can tell they're going to be really, really into this. And they were. So I enjoyed the match a lot. My only comment on it is that move that Taurus made off the top rope, that got a 2 count at the end. Like, that should have been the finish. Like, that's when like Cornette says, put a hat on top of a hat. That's when you bust out a finisher for no fucking reason. Like, that was a badass move that no one had seen before. So just end the match. I didn't think it was necessary to have the 2 count and then go to the finish. But other than that, I enjoyed both the matches on the pre-show quite
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. And again, like you said, like the crowd was phenomenal. Really, made these matches feel fun and exciting, and definitely added to the show. All right, so getting to the main card, we started off with the Bullet Club versus the Motor City Machine Guns, and Motor City Machine Guns renew their hostilities with the Bullet Club in tonight's opening contest. Shelly hits a foot stomp off the second rope in the early going. Bay is skinning the cat when Shelly cuts him off with a drop kick. Bay launches himself off the top rope with a senton to the outside, taking out both the guns. Austin uses his signature playing card to slice between the fingers of Alex Shelley. Sabin hits a rolling fisherman suplex on Bay. The guns hit Bay with the drop kick flatliner for two. Sabin almost puts.
Had to stop him for a moment. This guy named Justin Johnson, with the roster being where it is right now, they need to do more with Back to Roost. Eh, I agree. Um, I guess. Yeah, maybe put him in the put an exhibition championship around him, or the digital media championship around his waist, or finally make Crazy Steve and Brack Taurus Impact Tag Team Champions. You know, let them have a run with the belts. If you Ned Rosemary have a run with the Impact Knockouts titles, Knockouts Tag Team titles. Um, yeah, but other than that, Impact needs to sign some major talent, not no indie talent. Yes, I agree. They should be continue to work with New Japan, but that's about it. Stop signing these indie people. People don't even know them. You need major talent Impact. You are a billion-dollar company. Start acting like the Anthem Sports Entertainment. Give Impact Wrestling unlimited amounts of money to sign anybody, including Mercedes, aka Sasha Banks. Sign her. She's no longer with WWE. Something amazing just happened for you guys. It's time to get real. It's time to get serious about getting back up to that level like you once was. You are a legendary company, been around for 20 years. Give her free career reign. Give her any amount that she wants. Any amount that she wants. After Sports Entertainment, make it happen for Impact Wrestling. Get her in there in the Knockouts division. Get her with Tasha Steeles and get her with Savannah Evans.
Bay away with the cradle shock, but Austin pushes Shelly into the pile in order to break the count. The guns turn Bay inside out with the double team offense. Come on, you should know the name of their move. I don't know, but you should. They turn Bay inside out with double team offense to score the victory. So the Motor City Machine Guns get the win over Chris Bay and Ace Austin. How the hell did Chris Bay become the guy eating all the pins, man? Like,
Dude,
what the hell?
I got one question. I got one response for that. It seems like Impact Wrestling is giving up on Chris Bay. That's what it feels like. The guy is a former X Division champion. I mean, he favors when he was on his own before he was even with the Bullet Club. And he was solo. They had their own Kofi Kingston in their company. Now, Anthem Sports Entertainment, um, and the people who are running Impact Wrestling, um, build this guy up. Don't let this guy eat pins. This guy's been pinned like for the last months now. What are you doing? You have your own Kofi Kingston. This guy is gonna get tired, and he's gonna ask for his release, just like Lady Frost did. And Lady Frost was injured. Why she asked for her release while she was injured, I have no idea. But I had a feeling that Impact Wrestling was doing a good thing. I mean, was gonna do something big with Dave Frost. Was gonna buy, you know, they had paired was gonna pair up with I think it was Giselle Shaw or whatever. They was gonna be a tag team, or I may be wrong about that, but anyway, scratch that. I was trying to go back to Chris Bay. I was just using it as an example, but yeah, Chris Bay don't need to be eating no pants, and if Impact keep doing that, he's gonna ask for his release because uh, he don't. The guy can't be losing. Put him, turn him. I mean, he turned heel, but then he was a cool heel face. But put him in Honor No More or something, you know. Do something better with the guy. Don't let him eat no pants.
Yeah,
What what are we doing?
he's the first Impact member to join the Bullet Club, so it's kind of a big deal, you know. Um, and then Ace Austin joins, and it's clear like, I mean, the company's more behind Ace Austin than they are with
Clearly,
uh, Chris Bay. I mean, clearly,
clearly.
it's not even a. But he eats the pins in all these matches. It's like, okay, if we're getting a Bullet Club match and Chris Bay's in it, we know who's gonna win, and we know who's gonna get pinned.
Right.
You know, and that's just wild to me. Like he's someone we really want to see, you know, do some shit. You know, I knew they were. I knew the Bullet Club was gonna lose. Now I'm glad that they finally gave us a pairing of Ace and Chris Bay. So that's the first time us seeing them together on TV. I wish they came out to the Bullet Club music, not Ace's, because I don't like Ace's music. Well, I don't like most of the music, but I really don't like his. It just made it because when you do that, it's kind when you play one wrestler's music when a team comes out, you're telling us this one's more important than the other person.
Yeah.
That's just
Good
you
call.
know it's the equivalent of like a jobber entrance. You know, someone's already standing in the ring. You know, they're coming out to someone else's music, but it's a. I just want to see Chris Bay. I want him to see. I want to see them really utilize him in a spot as a Bullet Club member and be important like the other guys. But
Mm.
they're, you know, I knew the Motor City Machine Guns were not going to lose. Like it's they don't like to pin Chris Sabin or Alex Shelley ever. You know, these guys, it don't matter what match they're in, they always just seem to win. I get it, there's some of the bigger names, but it's like, God, we got to start putting some of these younger dudes over at some point and get them a little bit of momentum. You know, like how big would this have been if Chris Bay got the pin on one of these dudes? Now, that being said, the Bullet Club did have a match on Impact a couple weeks ago. I don't remember who was against, but Chris Bay did get the pin on that one.
Yeah.
For the most part, he's on his back for the 1, 2, 3 for these.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. It seems to be a running theme we have here.
Sure is.
And I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
I don't like it either.
All right. So let's see what happened next.
But this was like a pay per view quality tag team match. I mean, for the first match of the show, I mean, I consider the pre show the fucking show. Like, I don't, like, if people are there and they're watching and we're watching and they're in the arena, like, that's part of the show.
right.
But if we're saying, you know, okay, this is the opening match of the show, they just delivered from top to bottom.
Back
So
to
this was a lot of fun.
the Chris Bay eating all the pins thing. Like, do we know his contract status? I don't know, man. Something just feels off.
Yeah.
Something feels off. Like, just the fact that
Cause it feel like that he's losing just like W. Morrissey. When W. Morrissey was out the door, they was making W. Morrissey lose. The thing with Impact Wrestling needs to stop doing that. They didn't do that when it was TNA Impact. Like when somebody's contract was up, they would give them anything they want. Free career reign, um, any amount that they offering. If they want more money, give them more money. Cause they're worth it. If they are good in the ring like Chris Bay, give them more money. They can afford it. They're a billion dollar. They they are owned by a $1 billion corporation. Anthem Sports Entertainment has unlimited amounts of money, and they can afford to sign and re-sign anybody with ease. They re-signed the Good Brothers for crying out loud. Give people what they're worth. That's all I'm saying. Don't lose talent like this. You lost Rui Mack. You lost W. Morrissey. You lost uh, the Indian dude. Um, just you are a billion-dollar company, Impact. Be that company. Resign your talent. Sign big talent. Mercedes, aka Sasha Banks. Sign them. I'm gonna say it again. You guys can afford her. You can afford her with ease. Show everybody that you are worth $1 billion like you are.
Again, they're clearly like not as into him as they are Ace Austin, which is not something we can control. Also, like we don't know, you know, we don't know what type of relationship he has with management, like all of that stuff. But it just he seems like somebody you would be pushing more. You know what I'm saying? Like he just seems like somebody you would be doing more with. So I don't know. It's weird. It's
It's
weird.
not hard to imagine him being in that next Rohit Raju spot where we're like, okay, he's ready for that next level, and then the contract's up, and it's like, okay, I think I deserve to be paid a little bit more than the last contract, and they're like, oh, we
Right.
don't agree, and then gone,
Yeah. So
and then you bring
This guy named Eddie Pagro. Bullet Club, complete waste of time and impact. Half them are heels and other half good brothers or face. Just pointless. And I agree. If you're gonna have a stable heels, have them heels. Don't have them heels and faces. That's stupid. Look at Honor No More. Complete heels. All of them. They're not faces. They're heels. Well, PCO is sort of a face and a heel. But he's the only one. The rest of them are heels. Which I think Honor No More is going to be getting to that point where they're going to probably either turn on PCO. Because it's coming. PCO gets a great response from the fans. And they're going to get rid of PCO. Who they're going to replace him with, mm, I don't know. I think they should. I think Chris Bay should lead the Bullet Club and go to Honor No More and just be complete heel. He will fit in that stable because the Bullet Club ain't working no more. It's time for them to go. The Good Brothers are doing their own thing. I mean, it's it. It's run its course. Just let it die. Jay White is back with New Japan. His contract is over, so what's the point?
in the ghost of Charlie Haas to replace him.
right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And again, to me, it's interesting that they clearly don't see the value in him, but he offers something that almost no one else on the Impact show offers right now. He's cool. Like Chris Bay is cool.
Right.
Like he doesn't feel like he's reaching when he dresses outlandish. You know what I mean? Like when he does this thing right here, which like is kind of corny, but like he makes it look cool. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know,
Yeah.
man. A lot of people just don't really have that on this show. Impact does not have a lot of people who have that cool factor, and Chris Bay actually does. And it's just weird to me that they just don't have interest in positioning him more prominently. You know what I mean?
Well, he was one of the first guys that they signed or were trying to sign when Don Callis said, we're missing, and that's why this podcast is called this, if you guys don't put two and two together. But when Don Callis said initially, like, we're missing a cool factor on the show, like Chris Bay was one of the first, people they try to bring in.
Right.
So yeah, he has that.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Whatever. All right. So Gia Miller interviews Impact World Tag Team Champions, the Good Brothers, Heath, and the returning America's Most Wanted before they face off against Honor No More. These interviews are always like funny to me, where it's like you got 5-6 people back there and everybody has to go through and like say their thing. It's like, bro, come on, stop it. It's so like 80s, 90s wrestling. No, that part of it is fun. Yeah. Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. That part of it is fun, but like,
I got a point on that. Yes, I agree. You don't need 5 or 6 of your talent if they because they in the gonna be in a tag match or whatever. Um, Backstage getting interviewed. You don't need one person representing that team. You don't need 5 or 6 people taking turns doing the interview. That's whack, and that is so. I mean, I didn't watch 1980s, but uh, what they said, it don't need to be done. That being said, they just need to interview one person, just like WWE, just like the old TNA. The old TNA people, they just had one person representing their team getting interviewed. The team was like back somewhere getting ready for their match. Don't do that, Impact.
There's got to be just a little more coordination on making sure that the promo comes off as like fun and not just five people taking turns yelling. You know.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh, all right, so then we had what was for me one of the matches of the night: Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green versus Mia Yim and Mickey James. Mia Yim joins forces with Mickey James to battle the duo of longtime friends Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green. All right, so I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go blow by blow for this. I'm just gonna talk a little bit about the match because this was a match that stood out to me. Um, I loved, first of all, they did the music mashups for the tag teams.
Oh yeah.
To me, like that was just like really cool. It's just one of those things that's just the little bit
That when they put all 4 competitors, like all like the both of the two teams together, and they put they mash up themes. It was a breath of fresh air. It goes to show you that Impact Wrestling was acting like they self, which is a billion-dollar company, because them doing their themes wasn't cheap. Like I said, Impact Wrestling can afford to do anything if they put their mind to it, and they need to start doing that stuff like that. That was so awesome and cool, and the fans loved it.
bit of extra effort, right? The little bit of extra effort to do something cool. The Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green make such a great pair. Like they have that traditional tag team thing that you need, which is contrast, right? Like usually in a tag team, you'll have one person who's a great wrestler, the other person who's a great personality. Whether that person is like, I'm gonna go really old school here, like in the Rock and Roll Express, right? Like they both had like this super baby faced quality, but the way their matches were always set up, Robert Gibson would get beat up for the whole match, and then he'd tag in Ricky Morton for the hot tag, and people just went crazy. Like, even
Yeah,
bringing
our
it,
foundation was the same.
spinning it forward to like the beautiful people, right? Spinning it. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, the Hart Foundation was. He's taking a second here. That was the same. Uh, Road Warriors / Legion of Doom was the same. Like Hawk always got his ass kicked the whole match. Uh, so this happens quite a bit. It looks like he's got something going on there, so all good. So I just want to say the mashup thing, when you compare that to what I just said about the Bullet Club, it made both girls seem like they're on equal footing, on the equal playing field, as opposed to when Chris Bay and Ace Austin came out and you're playing Ace Austin's music. That's saying, hey, this is the dude we're behind. This is the guy who's probably going to lose in the match. There's just a big difference. So when we're always talking about presentation, things of that nature, and this is what we're talking about. The fans really responded to this matchup. I did at home. I was like, man, that is freaking awesome.
Yeah, that was
And that's
cool.
just
That
thinking
was
outside the
awesome.
bubble. Like I got buddies who know how to do that stuff.
Hmm.
I got buddies who are DJs and stuff like that. It's not difficult to do for someone. I mean, it's difficult to do. It's not difficult to do for someone who knows what they're doing. I mean, you can outsource someone to do that for a fairly cheap price. So it'd be cool if they did more of that stuff. TAW's still out
Yeah,
off the
yeah,
air. I can see.
he had to do something,
So
but
I'll
he'll
give
be
my
back.
thoughts real quick on this match. First of all, let's talk about the Knockouts Tag Team division because years ago when they said we were going to get a division, they were doing a really good job of putting teams together, and then the teams all disappeared. And then it started becoming okay. There's a tag team with the belts. They're feuding with the team. There's no other teams. It was just
Now, let me stop BQ on this. Bring it back to TNA Impact. In case no one knew, TNA Impact Wrestling was the first major company to create tag team championships for their women's division. And you can look it up. WWE back in 2003, '04, they did not have no tag team belts. Um, but TNA Impact, um, I forgot when they first created, but WWE was not the first company. And people can shake they you can look this up, do your research. They was not the first company to create no tag team titles. WWE was not the first company. They was the second. And then it was and then AEW came out in 2019 and followed suit like everybody else. But Impact was the first major company to create the tag team title belts for their company. And then WWE became the second. So, like it or not, you can't take that away from Impact because they was the first to create tag team titles for the division. And I'm so glad they brung it back because WWE has some great tag team women's division, but Impact started it. Just get that out the way. And I'm glad that they brought back the tag team titles so um, the females won't be just fighting over one main title and the feuds will be getting boring. And I think that's probably why WWE decided to create women's tag team belts like Impact did. They see the success and what they was doing. It gives more storylines to be built. But yeah, I just wanted to clear that up. Impact was the first company to create women's tag team title belts for their division.
kind of a mess. And you know, what's the other thing I'm always talking about too? We never have good, uh, knockouts, feuds, and matches that don't. Well, I should say matches, but feuds that don't involve the title. So, here we got four girls who weren't the champion, and really put together one of the best knockouts tag team matches we've seen in a long time. For me personally, the only thing that was a miss for me was
And like it or not, I think when Chelsea Green, well not Chelsea, yeah Chelsea Green and Deanna Purrazzo versus Mia Yim and Mickey James. Just point this out. This was a number one contenders uh, knockouts tag team title match to face Rosemary and Ty Valkyrie later down the road because they did defeat Mickey James and Mia Yim, and this match was good. It could have went either way. Um, and I was going for Chelsea Green and Deanna Purrazzo because they are great knockouts tag team. And this was a number one contender match. They didn't say it, but they're next in line to be Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champions, and they will be the most dominant Knockouts Tag Team Champions that Impact Wrestling has ever seen.
the finish was a little bit sloppy, going for that neck breaker. I'm not a wrestler; I never wrestled, but in the Air Force, I was a combatives instructor for a little bit, so I know a little bit about you know combat, if you will, and you got to commit to grabbing someone.
Right.
So Kelsey jumped up and went for a neck breaker. Like you gotta commit to like you can't baby it. That's where like Ali struggles a lot in the ring. Is doesn't commit to a lot of her moves. I know
Yeah.
she's not even with the company, so it's just an example of what I'm saying. Like you got to commit to really grabbing that person, or the moves very easily can mess it up. But
Yeah. So to me, like again, even with that, with the finish being a little sloppy, like I didn't mind it because I just like the overall. I I like the overall. Oh yeah, Penza called her Diana Perazzo.
That was embarrassing.
I missed
He
that.
um,
What,
need to
Dorana? You
oh,
said?
oh yeah, Diana Perazzo.
see. That was embarrassing. That goes to show you that they need a better announcer to pronounce the talent lane, so it won't make the company look bad. Because if that was in another company, I'm gonna be real and honest with everybody. That person would have got into a lot of trouble. Probably been suspended or fired. Or no, released. They call fired released in wrestling, professional wrestling terms. If that was in WWE or AEW, just like AEW um wants Jim Ross to be fired or released from the company because he called Cesaro is WWE stage name and not his AEW name, which is his real name. You've been in a lot of trouble, and Impact Wrestling needs to bring back Christy Hemme if they can. Christy Hemme is a great announcer. She looks good, so it looked like she could still, do the announcing like she used to. If she wants to come back and they allow her to come back, get Chrissy Hemme permanent, okay? Cause dude messing up, mispronouncing the talent's name makes them look bad, and I'll leave it at that.
I missed that.
um, but I like the way that these two tag teams looked. You know what I mean? Like these two tag teams had a great look, and again, I will say this until I'm blue in the face. I love like the run that Mickey James has been on since she's come back to Impact. She's been doing nothing but having great programs, great matches, great promos, and putting other people over. Like, let's just run through it. Like, she came back, and at a time when Deonna Purrazzo had kind of hit, like that the champ thing kind of hit its ceiling, didn't know where else it was going to possibly go. Mickey James came in and gave a shot of freaking adrenaline into that run, and it finished off great. And that to me even elevated, Deonna Purrazzo a little bit. Then she came through and worked with Tasha Steelz, had a great match, putting over Tasha Steelz, making Tasha Steelz the champion. Then she elevated Chelsea Green, getting her heel run kicked off. Then she came back, had this match. I'm pretty sure Mickey ate the pin, right? Mickey ate the pin, so Mia Yim didn't have to eat the pin. So Mia Yim again helping Mia Yim get elevated. I'm like, bro, like we damn it will not let this year go by without giving Mickey James her flowers. She's as good as she's ever been in the ring. She's still fine as hell, okay? Like not that I got nothing to do with her in-ring work, but like let's just state the obvious, damn it.
Yeah,
she looks good. But as far as like what she has added to Impact Wrestling, like you almost can't quantify, bro. You know what I mean? Like again, what did I just name? Like 3 or 4 different talents that she has elevated in the past year. Like, yo, bro, give Mickey James her flowers. Mickey James is nudging. She is nudging Gail Kim for the all-time best knockout. She is getting right there. She is getting right there. And like it's not Gail Kim's fault because it's not like, she can just, come back and, just keep doing, one match here or there, whatever. Like Mickey James is still a somewhat active wrestler. And I just say somewhat because I heard her have a podcast talking about how she has plans for other things that she's doing and stuff like that. But like, yo, like, bro, like when the next time we make a list of all-time knockouts, there's a conversation about who's number 1 all time. Like there's a conversation because what Mickey James is doing right now, she is validating. And like again, there's so many wrestling fans who only watch WWE, okay? And that's the value of a Mickey James in the worlds of AEW and WWE, of Impact and all these other programs. Is you have a person who wrestled on the biggest platform that people will know, and so you look at what she's doing, and she's not just coming in doing a job. She's not just coming in doing a match. She is working with people. You know what I mean? Like, she's doing promos that get you excited about a match, giving you a good ass match. And again, at the end of the match, it doesn't look like somebody crushed her, and it doesn't look like she just crushed somebody else. This is the art of wrestling, people. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to give Mickey James her flowers, man. Got to give Mickey James her flowers. That whole tag team scene felt phenomenal. A matter of fact, I'm just gonna skip around just a little bit here since we're talking about knockouts. To me, this helped elevate like the whole knockout scene. Okay, because after we're gonna come back to the Trey Miguel Mike Bailey match, but we're just gonna skip ahead just a little bit since we're talking about knockouts, and I don't want to swing back. You know what I mean, with my long windedness. Since we're talking about knockouts, uh, they had the knockouts tag team match. It was Rosemary and Taya against Giselle Shaw and Madison Rain. Okay, I'm sorry, Giselle Shaw and Tennille Dashwood. Right. The Madison Rain and I'm sorry, the oh my god. Tennille Dashwood and Rosemary.
Oh,
Who? Yeah. They won. The champions retained, but after the match, we had Masha Slamovich come out and hand the picture to Tennille Dashwood. Oh, just like basically with her face xed out. You know what I mean? Basically, like saying like you're next. So look at what we have here. Okay, between those two matches, we're talking about 6 to 7 knockouts, all with good stuff to do, right?
yeah,
Like good stuff to do. And so it's like, okay, we know what's coming next for Masha Slamovich. We know what's coming next for the Influence. There's a story now of Giselle Shaw trying to join the Influence. We had the tag team champs win. We had a good tag team showing from Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo. So it assumes logically that those two teams are going to meet next. Who else is doing this much good stuff with their women's roster?
right.
I'll open up to the chat. You go ahead and tell me what other wrestling promotion is doing this much good continuity storyline with their women's roster. Right now, if we're going to talk about women's wrestling, you have to. And I always push back when people say the Knockouts roster is as good as any women's roster in the world, because it's not. Like it's really good. It's really good, but like it's just, the WWE's women roster is so top heavy with talent. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like just the people they got at the top, Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, Bianca, Rhea Ripley. Like they're so top heavy that you're not going to be better than them talent wise. But in terms of booking, in terms of like booking stories for women wrestlers, not even close, bro. Not even close. The AEW women, right? Like what the AEW women is like, what's going on with like I like Thunder Rosa, but that women's title has felt irrelevant since it got on her. Okay.
Oh yeah, awful.
Jade Cargill is the best thing on AEW TV. She's fun, she's interesting, but other than that, like they don't do a whole lot with their women, and I don't want to insult their women because like Nyla Rose, Rio, Serena Deeb, she's one of my favorite wrestlers period right now. But in terms of like booking something for women, there is no wrestling promotion right now that is booking women better than Impact Wrestling. And if there is, tell me. Drop it in the chat right now. Let me take a little breath right here. And you wanna respond to some of these chats we got coming in?
Yeah, let's see. I responded. I typed it out, but the question was, I'm trying to find it here. Oh, David Valentine. If we think Tessa Blanchard is going to return to Impact at some point, so I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think that will ever happen because right now they have such a good thing going with their knockouts division. I don't think they would bring her back and say, okay, we're going to put you back with the guys. I don't see that happening. But clearly, she's a toxic personality. She's Kevin Durant, she's Kyrie Irving. Like, and
Oh yeah, I bring Kevin Durant into this. I think.
yeah, you know when you blow the place up, light it on fire everywhere you go, like it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
no, you're 100%. She's James Harden. She's James Harden because
she's
she's
James Harden.
good. She's damn good, but nobody can work with her. And like again, this isn't me being insulting. We were all here, right? We were all here during the pandemic when she was in Mexico and she couldn't come back, but it just so happened to coincide with her contract coming up, and she decided, like, bro, like, oh god, okay, since we're gonna do a test thing, we're gonna do a test thing. Let's just do it. We're live. We're live. Let's just freaking do it. So okay, look, like there's a chance. Remember, you're an NFL fan. Remember a few years ago when Marvin Lewis coached the Cincinnati Bengals and he decided he wanted to build his team with all these talented reclamation projects, the Pac-Man Joneses of the world and the Vontez Burficts. And you know what I mean? Like he decided he wanted to get all these guys and be like, hey, I'm your father figure. I'm going to give you another chance. Let's, you can get it right. Okay. And what happened is those dudes repeatedly cost them the opportunity to win a playoff game. Okay. And like, it's the same thing. You can bring in like one of those people, but those dudes can't be the core of your team. Okay. And so how does this relate to Tessa Blanchard? Okay. Like, again, like I don't need to go on this doesn't need to be the trial of Tessa Blanchard here. You just go into Twitter and type in Tessa Blanchard's name and start reading. Okay, just start reading. Like her reputation preceded her long before she got to Impact, and that's the thing too, is she's so good. She's so good.
I really enjoyed her run. Yeah,
she's so talented, bro. Like she stands out. I was watching an episode of WoW. I think from last year, and it's just like, bro, she stands out, man.
Yeah, she's big time on that show. They're gonna struggle to replace her.
I've mentioned how I went to I believe it was Bound for Glory 2017 or 2018, the one they did in Queens, and like, bro, like again, I can't say this enough, man. Like when Tessa Blanchard walked into that room, like stepped on that stage, like it's like, dog, there's nobody else like this in here. Like she has it. They talk about the it factor. The it factor is like an unspeakable charisma where you just know this is a person that people are going to want to watch, that you're interested in what they do, and she has it. Okay. But again, like her track record in working with people, the bullying, like the fighting, like all of this stuff, man. Like, again, like I don't need to prosecute Tessa Blanchard right here. Just type her name in a Google search and start reading. Type her name in a Twitter search and start reading. Okay. Like it's not me. It's not me. I'm not here to trash talk Tessa Blanchard. Okay. But it is what it is. But I did think, and I felt the same way about Kenny Omega. When a company is willing to put their world title on you, you owe it to that company to drop the title. Okay. Like the same thing, Bret Hart in 97 or 98, whenever that was, right? Like, bro, when a company puts their world title on you, you owe it to that company to drop that title in an honorable fashion. You know what I mean? To pass on the lineage of that title. Like it makes sense. So the fact that, they came to the end of her contract and she decided, I want this to be a bargaining point. Oh, I'm in Mexico. If you want me to, if you want this title back, or you want this title back on TV, now's the time when you better, pay me what I want, or you ain't going to see your title. Like, how trash is that? Like, how trash is that, dude? Like it just as a person, as a negotiation tactic, like that's just trash on like every possible level. So I said all of that to say, like, the way that her term ended with Impact after they gave her, that was a rehab project for her. You know what I mean? Because she did the Mae Young Classic, people. She did the Mae Young Classic. She was out there with everybody. She should have been signed. If they wanted to sign, she could have been signed to WWE a long time ago. You know, they were oozing at the mouth to do Tessa Blanchard versus Charlotte Flair. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they would have done that. But there's a reason they did not want to work with her. Okay. And then you think about some of the people that WWE has worked with, and they didn't want to work with her. Let the church say amen. Like, she not like, bro, she is not again, I'm not here to bash her, but I'm just speaking facts. I'm just talking about the stuff that we already know is out there. So the fact that, the fact that they went through all that, and that Impact not only gave her a chance, by the way, okay, not only gave her a chance, but took the big swing of putting their world title on a woman, right? They put a lot of time and a lot of effort to this, and it was going to be huge. But we all know what happened, okay? We all know what happened. And by the time we got there, right, there was nothing they could do, right? There was nothing they could do. They couldn't. By the time we got to, what was that, Hard to Kill 2020? By the time we got there, if you Google Tessa Blanchard's name, first woman's world champion wasn't going to be what came up. It was going to be all the other stuff. That's her fault. That's nobody's fault but her. And by the way, the smart thing to do, in my opinion, would have been for them to call an audible right there and be like, yo, we're going to keep this title on Sammy. We're going to put you on, a media tour, try to rehab your image, and then we'll come back to this, maybe at Bound for Glory or something. To me, that would have been the smart thing to do. But they stuck by her. They didn't even ask her to make a public apology. They didn't. They just rode with her on that. Okay, and they rode out they went with this will all blow over. Well, it didn't. Not only did it not all blow over, but you couldn't promote her. And so and people were ready, bro. People were ready. Like, leading up to that pay-per-view, I was reading articles on her on The Ringer. I was reading articles on Sports Illustrated on her. Like, the world was ready to get behind the first woman's world champion who, you missed her theme song. It's called "I Want It All" by P. McGee, and it's on. It's out there. It's available. Just Google it. It's right out there. It's a great song, but like, you don't need to have Tessa Blanchard on TV to hear that song. But but anyway, the point is, she did it to herself, and then she didn't even have the decency to come back and drop the title. So as an Impact fan, you should not want Tessa Blanchard. And by the way, based on what we saw at Against All Odds, this Knockouts division is in a great place right now. Because when we kind of started on this tangent is because I was just talking about how well they're doing the Knockouts. And then later in the night, Jordynne Grace and Tasha Steelz had my match of the night. Like, I thought that Jordynne Grace and Tasha Steelz had the match of the night. And BQ, haven't I been saying this for the longest time? When you have this roster, when you have a roster of women who can really wrestle, you need to be putting on great matches. You need to backpedal away from the Undead Realm stuff and the comedy, and there's nothing wrong with that stuff. But sometimes when you have a roster that can do great matches, it needs to be about, I'm gonna kick your ass because I want to be the champion. And like, as wrestling fans, that's what we're here for. Okay? And when you can go out there and do matches like what Jordynne Grace and Tasha Steelz did, mwah. Okay? Because Tenille Dashwood can do that too. Okay? Taya Valkyrie can do that too. Okay? You got like so many women right now who can do that too. And that is the stuff that's going to keep people out here talking about Impact Wrestling. Just like, I don't give a damn if you like this promotion or not. They are putting on some fire ass matches.
Whatever they're paying Jordynne Grace, they need to double it, because I think this every time she comes out. It's like, she looks like a damn star. And Google her pictures when she debuted in the company. The way she looked, the way compared to how she does now, and how much she is leaned out and just looks like a friggin' star. You know what I mean? Like, it's someone who along the way has made the necessary adjustments. I want to bring this comment back up here because we're talking about the knockouts. You have 5 or 6 women that can be moved into a position to be a credible champion. The men's Impact title doesn't really have that, and that's really, really true. That's why we're getting Joe Doring in the main event, which a lot of people like him, but is he going to main event a pay per view in any other company? No, you know what I mean. It
Yeah.
just we've had the Brian Myers, who we both like a lot. We've had
Hmm.
Brian Myers main event one of these shows before against
Yeah.
Josh Alexander. Like they're going to find him some. I'm going to say BS challengers. I mean, they're going to have to find him some. They're going to force some challengers on us because
Yeah.
that the main event scene is not that deep.
Not even close. Ooh.
That's why I talked about the Rohits, the Chris Bays, like guys you really could have started getting to that next level.
Yes. Yes.
You know, I said about Ace Austin. I said when he drops the title, he can't go back to, oh, I'm wrestling in three-way matches to qualify for the X Division #1 contender. Like you have to elevate him, and now I feel like they're doing that. But with the women, that they are at a point right now that any of these girls, like when they had that Ultimate X match, I mean not Ultimate X, Queen of the Mountain, like any of those girls could have won. This wasn't like the X Division match where you look at them like, okay, a couple of these guys are definitely not going to win. They're just in there to do cool moves. Like with the Queen of the Mountain, you're like, yo, any of these women can lead the champion, and it would be okay. It would work. Like people would believe it. It was kind of for the most part the way with Ultimate X as well. So they're just doing an excellent job with
Yeah.
that division.
Hell yeah.
They've had its ups and downs over the years, but right now they're hot. They're on fire. The Masha Slamovich thing, we keep hearing the rumors that Tennille is going out of the country. Has got something coming up. I mean, Masha might be writing her off TV
Hmm.
for all we know. I hope not because I really like them. But we'll see.
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad way to write her off TV, right? It's continuity, right? And
Yeah,
you can
right.
always do that where it's a way where she has an excuse to come back, and then she's got beef when she gets back. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Hmm.
again, even if you're doing this as a way to get her off TV, that's still again like storyline continuity. That's good for the show. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So if that's what they're doing, I think that's not even really bad. All right, so so thank you guys for dropping in your comments. Keep the comments coming in the chat. Once we finish going through the matches, we'll go through some of these comments here. All right.
Someone did ask about Chris Bay. I'm just going to point it out. We
Oh,
talked about
shoot.
it at the top of the show, so I can't go backwards on that.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get to the chat at the end. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So did that. So now let's talk about Mike Bailey and Trey Miguel X Division Championship match. This was fun. This was bananas, dog. This was bananas. Like I'm gonna skip the play by play here because it doesn't really do it justice. This was just it was an exciting match. Like Mike Bailey, what's the move he calls the ultimate weapon where he does the backflip with the double knees? Oh my
Something along
god,
those lines.
bro! He did that so many times. I just feel bad for his knees. Like I'm just like, dog. He is. Oh my god. The match ended with Bailey hit the ultimate weapon on the hardest part of the ring. Then Bailey tripped him up on the top. Then hit the flamingo driver to win the match and retain the X Division title. I hate seeing Trey Miguel take all these L's, but that match was phenomenal. Like Trey Miguel is no worse for the wear for having lost that match. You know what I'm saying? Like that match was outstanding, excellent. Had the crowd going crazy. Like that's what you want from an X Division match. And by the way, that's the type of match that proves that every X Division match doesn't have to be, 10 people lighting themselves on fire and falling off the top of the building, to have a fun match. Like that was excellent. That was absolutely excellent. What do you think about Mike Bailey versus Trey Miguel for the X Division Championship?
They really did put on was probably the best match we've seen in a long time. And there's always good matches. So let me not say in a long time. There's always a lot of good matches on these shows, but I think we knew when that was on paper that was going to be really, really good. And Trey's the other guy that I put in that in the same conversation as ASOS and everything. Like at this point, I think he has to start moving upwards. I don't think he can. I don't think it's doing any favors to keep him in that X Division title picture. Maybe they want him to win more title, have one more run because his first one was not good. I don't think it was to his fault. I think he was injured, but the match people are saying on social media right now, match of the year. You know, it's going to be up there with some of the top matches in any company. They just, he Mike Bailey used a different move at the end. I forgot what it was called. flamingo driver. I was gonna say elephant driver for a second. I don't know why, complete opposite animal, but flamingo driver, which is really cool. And I've been asking for a while, like, where's the cool finishers in Impact? Where's the, even Steve Macklin now is using a DDT, which he's like the fifth or sixth dude to use a damn DDT on the roster. So Mike Bailey's the one who's been really giving us really fresh offense, and Trey's the same way. When both of these guys wrestle, even if they're not wrestling each other, they are showing us things we've never seen before. So that's what's a lot of fun, and I think that's what was fun about the X Division once upon a time. Not just the AEW like flip for just the sake of flipping, but to just do stuff we haven't seen before, and for it to look real and make sense. But
right,
not a bad moment in this match. I mean, it was just wild, and you're right. It just shows that we can have good X Division title matches that don't have to be 50 people playing grab ass in a match. Like, I want to see more of this. I've wanted to see more of this for a really long time. I didn't think Mike Bailey should be the champion so soon. But you know how they are. Like they get someone like, yo, this person's really good, get the belt on him. But yeah. I would have liked to see a little bit of chasing of Ace Austin, and but he's going to be a fun champion. He has an open challenge on this episode of Impact upcoming. A couple of people have messaged me about it because it's one of my favorite wrestlers. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so up next, we're getting to the Good Brothers, America's Most Wanted, and Heath versus Honor No More. The team of Eddie Edwards, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, Kenny King, and PCO with Maria Kanellis and Vincent. All right. America's Most Wanted reunites as they join forces with Heath and the Good Brothers to battle Honor No More in a 5-on-5 showdown. Bennett hits Heath with a forearm shot, followed by a missile drop kick from Taven. Honor No More began to wear down Heath as they cut off the ring to prevent him from making the tag. Heath hits an explosive power slam to create separation and make the tag to Storm. Storm hits both Edwards and King with a neck breaker DDT combo. Storm tags in Harris as they team up and use the members of Honor No More as battering rams. While the referee is distracted, PCO attacks Storm on the floor to completely turn the table. PCO is heading to the top when Taven tags himself in. Taven crashes and burns on a frog splash attempt. Storm capitalizes and hits a vertical suplex on Edwards. Harris gets tagged into the match and goes on the attack. Harris hits a delayed vertical suplex on King. Both teams exchange spine buster after spine buster in the middle of the ring. Taven connects with a springboard kick on Storm to break up the death sentence. Anderson hits the gun stun on Edwards. Taven calls for the PCO assault, but instead he dives off the rope to the floor. America's Most Wanted hit the death sentence on King to win. So let me say this. PCO, right? Like they described this nicely, but it looked like he fell off the damn top rope. Now there was 100%. There was a crowd of people waiting for him out there, so he was supposed to dive off, but it clearly looked like he fell off that top rope, and I was like, dog, like, what are we doing here? The other thing that really stood out from this match was I did not, and I've been saying this out loud, I did not want to see Chris Harris in the ring. That is not because I'm hating on Chris Harris. That is because Chris Harris does not look like he can make it through a match. You know what I mean? Like, and I was very happy with how they put this together. He got to do some spots and he didn't die. And I thought that was dope, man. I thought that was dope. I thought it was fun. And the fact that they got the winning fall, this was a win for me.
They made it work. This was one of the matches on the card when you're just looking at it, I had no interest in. Because, I mean, I have no interest in anything the Good Brothers does at this point. I don't care if they're wrestling. I don't care if it's versus my favorite tag team in the entire world. I don't care if it's the Road Warriors come back from life and wrestle these guys. Like, I don't care about anything they do. I don't enjoy anything they do. I hate cool heels. I've been saying that for a while. They're playing they're baby faces all of a sudden. You know, I didn't enjoy the Slammiversary post match angle where he just randomly came out and they all had beer, and I was like, what is this? Is it leading to something? Very possible. Very, very possible. But I still don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy seeing heels just we're just going to be good guys for now. And
Right.
then people were very disappointed with okay, we're losing the Briscoes because if the Briscoes were in this match, then we're talking like I probably have a little more interest in it. And then they're like, oh well, it's Heath, which I kind of like Heath, but that's kind of a disappointing like replacement. And then Chris Harris, so people were excited for it because they're
Yeah.
we want to see America's Most Wanted, but I feel like you do. I didn't feel he was like in shape to go out there, so I don't mind seeing some older guys come and having matches as much as I talk about stop bringing older people. It's not that I don't totally mind it, but when they show up and they just don't look like they can go, like I don't really want to see them. But they used him well. They made it work. He had a shirt on. It wasn't like they were gonna, you know,
Yeah.
expose him.
Yeah.
James Storm, when he's cutting the promo beforehand and his wrestling, like he's so so far above the majority of the roster.
Yeah.
I mean, he has that presence that we said, like Jay White when he showed up for a little bit, like he had a presence no one else did.
Yeah.
That's definitely the case with James Storm. They're teasing PCO getting kicked out.
Yep.
Say teasing, like it's pretty clear that's where they're going with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe this whole time where we're like, is PCO a bad guy or a good guy? It was really bothering me. I hate when people flip flop like that, but maybe
Right.
there's just a story involved with it. They were trying to get the crowd behind him. That's very possible. I think they just took it a little too far to where he was like an obvious babyface because the crowd was cheering for him when they first debuted,
Yeah.
and they were beating up D'Lo. I think people were cheering for PCO. So I think the company saw where it was going. I just don't think they had to push it that far into okay, now we're gonna have you wrestle babyface matches so they continue to cheer you. Like if they would have I would if it happened organically, cool. That's clearly where they're going with it. PCO definitely freaking fell. It worked though because it worked with the story of the match. Like it absolutely worked. But I'm curious to see where Honor No More goes after this because it's. I mean, they can't. I keep saying the next time Honor No More loses, they're done. Like now we don't care anymore. You
Right.
can't say, oh, we're here to kick ass and take names and do this to the history of TNA and shit. Like, no, you're not because you don't beat anybody.
Right.
So at this point, they could be breaking him off or something. Something's going to happen. The problem is Eddie Edwards needs this group because I think him solo as a heel is not going to be very good.
Mm-hmm.
They might be going for Eddie and PCO for because I think they're trying to stretch Eddie out to Bound for Glory.
Mm-hmm.
That's my assumption to main event with Josh. So I
Right.
think he's going to have that like feud right now with PCO. I think that's kind of what they're doing. But I'm just really curious to see how they handle Honor No More
Yeah.
at this point because there's certain wrestlers on the roster like Deanna Perrazzo was a great example. She can lose a title, and then they find something really interesting for her to do after that. There's
Right.
never like, oh, what's next? What the hell are they going to do with her? Like they find something really, really good and entertaining. Um, I'm wondering right now for Tasha Steeles, what the hell do they do with her at this point? That's
Right.
that's so she's in the same ballpark as Honor No More. Like, what the hell do you possibly do at this point that we could care? So I'm
Well, so
very
when it comes to Tasha Steeles, because we already kind of touched on that match, so we can kind of talk about that a little bit. I When it comes to Tasha Steeles, I don't know, man. I think coming off of this match, I don't know. Like I think because there was such a strong showing with this match, I think that puts her in a fine spot. Like she lost the match, but in a strong fashion. So it's like, okay, now we know we can get a good match. You know what I mean? Like we know we can get a good match. And she's a great heel. Like Tasha Steeles can talk her way into a fight. You know what I mean? At any point. So to me, I don't think there's any problem with what you do with Tasha Steeles because she's like heat in a can. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is just put her in, like just set up the feud and she's going to get it popping. You know what I'm saying? Because she's going to come out here, she's going to talk crazy and she's going to she's going to make it a situation where somebody wants to like kill her. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
that's what she does. So like, I don't think there's any issue with what you do with Tasha Steeles next because who else is like this? Becky Lynch is like this, right? Becky Lynch is so good with like just talking up a fight. You know what I mean? Like she'll explain to you why it's your fault why I had to, hit you in the legs with a baseball bat. You know what I'm saying? And then like by the time she's finished, you're like, you know what? We need to kick her ass. And so like I think Tasha Steelz has that same thing. She has that same thing where she's gonna agitate, she's gonna, make you want to fight her, and then she's gonna throw Savannah Evans in her way, and you're gonna be wanting to get to her more. So I think like having those elements, right? Like Tasha Steelz is a character that can do anything, like just continuously. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter who your champion is, right? She can do that to anybody. It's almost like in AEW, right? With MJF, they have like such a formula with MJF. Like oh, he's gonna talk, he's gonna agitate, he's gonna say some things. Then when you want to fight him, he's gonna put 5 people in front of you to try to make a big match. Where it's like, oh, this person had to go through all this to finally get their hands on MJF. And like again, Tasha Steelz, she can do that same thing because she has her heater, right? But like because she talks so good, she's her own heater. You know what I mean? So I think that's about the individual talent that Tasha Steelz is. But I don't think there's like a dead end on what to do with her because I think she can work with anybody because she can talk it up.
It just seems like everyone worth feuding with is in an angle right now. So that's my concern. Someone posted here earlier that Allison Kay and Marty Bell were teasing coming to Impact. So I haven't seen anything about that. They just dropped the titles on NWA.
Oh, they did. Okay.
To a team that has no business being champion. And then this past episode, I was just watching it yesterday. They lost a rematch too. So
yeah,
I'm I would have been surprised.
Screams my contract is up.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So where are we at here? All right, so now we're up to the Clockwork Orange House of Fun match. Moose and Sami Callihan, and we had Raven on commentary for this. Moose and Sami Callihan settled their rivalry in one of the most brutal and sadistic matches in all of professional wrestling. Raven's Clockwork Orange House of Fun. Speaking of Raven, the inventor of the match joins Tom Hannafin and Matthew Raywalt on commentary. Moose jumps Callihan from behind with a spear before the opening bell. 30 seconds into the match, Moose is assaulting Callihan with a steel chair. Moose sets up a table on the outside, but Callihan sends him crashing through it with a back body drop. Callihan hits the Death Valley driver onto a steel fence. Moose finds a bottle inside of a garbage can and smashes it over Callahan's head. Moose hits a sit-down powerbomb through a wooden door. Moose shoots a stapler into Callahan's foot. Ooh, now it's Callihan who power bombs Moose through steel chairs. Callihan goes low with the staple gun. Callihan hits the Cactus Driver 97 into a pile of building blocks, but Moose kicks out at 2. Then Steve Macklin, disguised as a cameraman, hits a low blow on Callihan from behind and then attacks him with a barbed wire bat. Moose capitalizes on the spear to win. What do you think of the Clockwork Orange House of Fun match?
This wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. We talked about this before. We didn't know what the match was. I had a couple people explain it to me, so I knew after the fact. But you're never going to get me excited for any kind of hardcore match. Like, it doesn't matter. Again, you can say Sean and Brett in their prime are wrestling tomorrow in a street fight. You're not going to get me excited. On paper, You're just not. There's nothing you can do to get me to want to watch it. That being said, sometimes I do watch the match. I'm like, this wasn't that bad. This was more entertaining than I thought it would be. And that was the case with this too. Raven should never do commentary again. I understand they wanted to, it was his match. I understand they wanted to tie him into it a little bit. I think it would have been cooler if he just, AEW has done some things sometimes where they pay homage to a match and then they'll just show the wrestler sitting ringside or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
I would have preferred something like that because I didn't think he added much to the commentary. He said some funny stuff, don't get me wrong, but it was just like, I didn't enjoy it. Again, with some of these older talents, I don't mind them showing up, but when they don't look like how we remember them at all, I just don't know the benefit. But the match was better than I expected. I like the Macklin thing because they did a good job with that because the cameraman really did have masks on and everything. So I mean, he came in. I like his shirt. I don't know if that's new or if I just haven't missed it. So I need to, or if I've missed it.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to try to buy the Macklin shirts. I don't buy a whole lot of Impact shirts because I don't like that many of them. But this is
Yeah.
one I want to definitely get. And the new Trey
Tag 'em
Miguel
and
one, is
bag 'em,
very,
baby.
yes, the Trey Miguel one is very fire, by the way, too.
Yeah.
The new one he just came out. So oh, someone mentioned here the dot combat match. I forgot that opening match was dot combat. So those
Yeah.
end up being fun somehow,
Yeah.
even though they're like hardcore, but they're kind of fun. But going back to this, I'm glad Moose got the win. I mean, it kind of tells us these two are going to fight like forever.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to write either of them off TV after. I mean, after you have like two matches like this, like you can't show up Thursday and call the other one out. Like you got to sell this to an extent. You guys just had back to back matches where you almost killed each other.
Yeah.
Um, so it was again, it was just better than I expected. I like the Macklin wrinkle because now you're just adding him to the mix here. So there's a curiosity: is he going to feud with Sammy, or is these two just going to keep fighting? And is Macklin going to align himself with Moose? We don't really know, but I'm glad they're giving Macklin something to do because he wasn't at Slammiversary. He
Right.
did a reverse battle royal, which was beneath him, and then he wasn't on this card. So it seemed like, oh, we don't know where to quite fit him in. So
Yeah.
hopefully here he's not just like a throw in. Hopefully there's like a real story coming with him because I personally enjoy him very much. I know he's not your favorite in the world, but uh, I like him a lot. So I want to see him do something really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
I
him
don't have
too.
anything against Steve Macklin. He just looks kind of, I was like waiting for something like to pop, something interesting. Like to me, his whole presentation just looked like very kind of, like average cabbage. You know what I'm saying? And but here's the thing: is like once you start doing interesting stuff with someone, that makes it interesting. And they let him win a lot when he first came. You know what I mean? So that established him as a player, as a competitor. Um, I don't need to see Moose and Sammy again. This can just be one of those things where it's just an ongoing feud where you just know, I hate you forever. And
Yeah, this match with Moose and Sammy Callahan, no more. This should have been the last match between them two because there's nothing left. If you continue, you'll be overkilling like WWE is doing with Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. It's overkill. End it.
any chance I get to screw you over, I'm going to do that because F you. And I think that's fine because Moose and Sammy Callahan both have the personalities where it can be like, you're on my list, F you forever. You know what I mean? And I think that's fine. You know what I mean? Like they don't need to keep having matches. Like I think that's just like that's perfect for me. To me, they can end it here. I don't need to see another hardcore match. There's not anything at stake like a title. Now, the next time they meet should be for something. There should be some stakes at play. Like if they decide to do a Bound for Glory series or something like that, where there's like the winner gets to take the next step towards the title, something like that. But but yeah, I don't need to see those two work with each other again for a while. I need to see, something new, something fun, something else. So that was that. All right. So we already talked about the Knockouts World Championship match. Loved it. You know what I mean? That it was so good. Loved it. It was great.
Let me
One of
bring
those-
something up about Jordan Grace real quick.
Go ahead.
She has a new theme song, and what have we been saying for weeks? Like, if you're a champion, you're a star, have the song of a star.
Mm.
Because we're referring to Josh Alexander's theme, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
which is still the shits. Like, I tried to listen to it tonight. I mean, for this episode, and be like, oh, let me just close my eyes and listen. And I'm like, that theme's ass, straight up cheeks. But Jordan Grace's theme, even though I really liked her other one, this is like, I'm a badass, I'm a star. Like when that shit hit. So I just want to say that before I forget.
Yeah, man. Man, when I heard the music and I saw the video of her like lifting, I was like, okay, this is good. I thought that was going to be like the intro to another new theme song. You know what I mean? Like I thought like because the music just feels like a prelude, like it's leading up to something. And like I thought, like how Moose has the
Oh, right, right.
you know what I mean? Like that's what that felt like. And I thought, like that was just gonna be like, okay, here's Jordan Grace, like boom, doom, 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 doom. You see her like lifting and doing all that stuff, and then the lights drop, and then it's come up, and I do something like, the lights come up and it's just like spotlight on her flexing or something like that. I thought it was going to be something like that. And to me, like the music doesn't like it is crescendo the right word? Like it doesn't
Crescendo
take off.
when it builds, slowly builds.
Right. So it doesn't like, but it never gets to that. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, it's fine. I don't
I
hate
got
it,
you.
but when I heard it, I thought it was kind of leading somewhere. So I was just like, oh man, I
You
was
know, I
like,
know what you mean because when it was happening, I was like, I knew it wasn't gonna happen, but I was like, with it's missing right when she stepped out was like, you know how Goldberg used to have like I think it's Goldberg. I'm thinking of his entrance where it was like raining uh, sparks and
yep.
okay, something like I was like, it's missing something like that,
Right.
obviously they're not going to do fireworks or nothing like that, but there was a point that I was like, I felt like it was building to something, but it didn't. So
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Exactly. But even like with Goldberg's, right? It's like Goldberg was like, it was like I don't know. To me, Goldberg felt more like just like a steady, like there was like boom, 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 boom. Then it's bum, 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 you know what I mean? And but it was more like steady. So I don't know. Maybe I'll listen to the Jordan Grace theme and see if I feel differently about it. But I was like I said, I was kind of waiting for it to take off when I heard it. But I love when you add something new. I like the video of her, like lifting, because to me, I've been saying this about Jordan Grace for the longest time. She can wrestle, she looks great, but like, what's her character? And to me, like, just dive in. She's a dope bodybuilder. You know what I mean? Like, she's got muscles. Like she's into the fitness and she's a phenomenal athlete. Like, dive in head first on that, because a lot of watching Jordan Grace, you don't really know, right? Like what exactly the character is. But I feel like just doing like that, right? Just playing you know what I mean? Just playing, the reel of her, like, lifting and all that other stuff. That says something about like who she is as a character. You know what I mean? Like it gives her some sort of like gimmick, if you will. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so I do like it. I thought it's certainly better than like just what she had before. What she had before, I felt like didn't add like anything to her character. This gives you some sort of like baseline for what, what and who she is,
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
So I like that. All right. So we talked about the knockouts match. Now we're going to get to the main event: Impact World Champion Josh Alexander versus Joe Doring with Diener for the Impact World Championship. So this is another one where like I'm going to kind of skip the play-by-play and go with kind of like my impressions from watching the match. So before this match, I remember tweeting out on my account, Talking About Pod, follow at Talking About Pod on Twitter. I remember just tweeting out, Josh Alexander was on this unprecedented
Make sure you
run
hit the notification
of
bell
great
on
main
my
event
channel
matches.
and like, subscribe, and share the
And
screen. And also,
I may
subscribe to
have
the
jinxed
Impact
this main event a
Lounge.
little bit. Maybe not. I mean, like, the thing is, Joe Doring, what do we know that Joe Doring can really do? It's not that he didn't do anything, but like, he's like a power wrestler. He's not like one of those. He's not one of those big men that's going to surprise you with a Hurricane Rana. At least not that I've seen. But I thought that they did a good job of maximizing what Joe Doring does well. Like, he was killing Josh Alexander with those lariats. Excuse me. He was killing Josh Alexander with those big clotheslines. And honestly, Josh Alexander was selling him so good that later in that match, I really honestly started to wonder. I was like, yo, are they going to do a title change here? Like, are they telling a story where Joe Doring was just beating him down so much with these clotheslines that eventually it was just too much, and and Josh Alexander is going to just succumb to the punishment of all the beating from Joe Doring? Like, and to me, again, I thought that was a great example of what I call the art of wrestling. The art of wrestling is selling me, right? Like making me believe, creating some doubt. That is the art of pro wrestling. And again, in a vacuum, if you were to ask me Joe Doring versus Josh Alexander, who wins? Duh, Josh Alexander. He just got the title. He's having these phenomenal matches. Who the hell else would they put his title on? We don't even know Joe Doring like that. So, like, why the hell would you put the title on Joe Doring? But as I'm watching this match and I'm watching the beatdown that Josh Alexander is taking, it made some doubt creep into my mind. Like, yo, are they going to do something here where, where Josh is just going to take this crazy beatdown and then, they're going to do a title change? Like, so to me, I thought that's what was really good. And again, there's more than one way to do wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be flips and a bajillion kickouts and all that stuff. Not there weren't a bunch of kickouts in this match, but it made sense. Like, the story they were telling was this big monster of a man is just beating the hell out of Josh Alexander. And he's so strong that he's powering his way out of the ankle lock and like all of this stuff. And like, honestly, again, it was such a simple type of match, but the way they did it made me believe. It made me have doubt. And I was like, man, like, nobody's going to look at this match and be like, oh my God, so many exciting moments. But if you watch the match, like, again, Josh was selling the beatdown so much that it made me wonder, man. And to me, that gets my applause in wrestling 10 times out of 10. You know what I mean? I say this all the time. Like, one of my favorite wrestling moments, I remember leading up to, I think it was WrestleMania 33. They were doing John Cena and Nikki Bella versus The Miz and Maurice. And I was like, I want to see that shit. But by the time they finished talking and having these segments, I was like, yo, John Cena gonna beat his ass. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, but again, that is the art of wrestling, and I love it. Give it to me 10 times out of 10, man. Whether it's with the promos or with the art, sell me. And they did that with this match. So to me, this was this would probably be near the bottom of Josh Alexander's main events, but it was still really good. I thought it was still really good. What'd you think?
I mean, it was good, but I've been saying, I said at the top of the show, like, I'm not into Joe Doring the way a lot of people seem to be. And I've said this before too, like, he comes out to the ring and just look, it just reminds me of like when my daughter was like 4, we used to go in my closet and just grab random clothes and then step out, Like, I don't understand the fur coat and the cowboy hat and how that fits into the Violent by Design theme and everything. The one thing I'm excited about, because I find Violent by Design a little stale for my liking, but there's a next level coming here because Eric Young's been off TV. Like, there's something, they're going to take the next step, which is what I'm always looking for. But it was a solid Impact Plus main event. He wrestles like a big guy, which there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think enough people do anymore. So it was okay. I just I'm not I reckon I can't say this. I think I like Josh Alexander like as the X Division champion, where it's just like, he's gonna have some good ass matches. But for the world champion, I need a little more juice out of his character. I'm not really getting necessarily, but I'm waiting to see now that he's got rid of he's beat all of Violent by Design. Hopefully they're not still going after him, because I will die if I got to go through that anymore. Like, he's feuded with them for a while. He's wrestled them all. I want to see what his next step is, because he can't just go back to, I'm just having good matches with randos, or I'm raw team TNA. Like, he has to take the next step in this next feud. Otherwise, I fear he's going to get extremely bland. Not saying he is, but he has to take that next step with his next feud. But as the match, I mean, it was cool. I didn't dislike it. I mean, there's nothing bad on this card. I'm just not into either of them as much as most people are. So I wasn't super excited about it, but
So
it
to
was
me
cool.
though, that's the thing though, right? Like, what is the next step for Josh Alexander? Because at the end of this match, like I'm kind of with you on that on that point. At the end of this match, I'm kind of sitting there saying, okay, what's next? Like it's almost like I don't know if you've been keeping up with WWE lately, but a couple of weeks ago they did a match on SmackDown. It was Roman Reigns against Matt Riddle, and it was a great match because Matt Riddle has great matches. And after the match is over, Roman Reigns grabs the mic and he's like, "There's no one else. There's no one else. I've ran through everybody." And that's when they dropped Brock Lesnar's music, right? So it's like, oh God, we're getting Brock
Yeah.
Lesnar and Roman Reigns again. But I will say this. I will say this. As much as I don't want to see another Brock Roman match, like I'm not gonna not watch it. You know what I mean? So this would be the time when in WWE they'd hit Brock Lesnar's music. I don't know that Impact has that in their back pocket. You know what I mean? And it's a very fair question. What's next for Josh Alexander? Because like you said, he's
I'm gonna cut off TW. Yes, Impact Wrestling can afford to bring in anyone that's a major talent. Like I said before, Anthem Sports Entertainment is a billion-dollar corporation. They can afford anybody with ease for Impact. Um, sure, there's no top talent for the male division that they could bring in that I can think of. I wanted to see Kurt Angle versus Josh Alexander. You know, Kurt Angle dropped a video message and they said that he had surgery or whatever. Probably won't get that. You see, I obviously have no idea. Braun Strowman, we haven't heard from him, and there's no news about him either. Bray Wyatt is doing his own thing, so I have no clue and no idea. And they do not need to be bringing um, nobody from New Japan or no indie stars to face Josh Alexander, because nobody gonna know who that is. They need a major talent, and for right now, all the major talent is signed elsewhere. So I have no clue. I have no clue.
he's cleaned them out, and and we got Bound for Glory on the way, right? Like I know it's only July, but August, September, October is going to be here before you know it. You know what I mean? Like you got basically 90 days to build and sell a pay per view in which they don't even have a venue yet. They don't have a venue yet. If you've been watching Impact Social, they've been announcing like touring dates. They got a lot of touring dates. If they could get ahead of the game and start sharing preparing, selling for Bound for Glory, I'm pretty sure they would. Okay? Like they may have some places in mind.
Okay, somebody in the chat said that maybe Josh Alexander moves on to Honor More, and he could probably be the guy to, I guess, dethrone that faction or take on Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards versus Josh Alexander could work for Bound for Glory. It could work. They could build it up slowly, you know? And I guess he take on each member of Honor No More one by one. That would work. That would work. That's where they should bring until they could find a major talent or a major talent contract is up with another promotion and they could bring that major talent into Impact Wrestling. That would work.
But I'm pretty sure if they had a venue secured for Honor No More, for Bound for Glory, they would. I think they would have it. And yes, I do think Honor No More is where he goes next. And I do
Yeah, yeah,
think
that makes sense. Two entities of what the hell they doing next. Yeah.
yes, it makes sense. And again, if we go back to the Why Eddie Y promo, remember his answer was that he was jealous that Josh Alexander got the chance to bring back the Impact title instead of him. And to me, that seems logically where this would go next. But we listen,
And he can run through all of them on the way.
right,
So
That's exactly what I just said, BQ. I said that Josh Alexander can pick off each member of Honor No More one by one until there's no one left except for Eddie Edwards and Josh Alexander. Perfect build toward Bound for Glory.
it gives them something to do. It's going to be Josh Alexander having good matches, excuse me, on TV again, which like I said, that's going to have a shelf life. But
mm-hmm.
and there's not a shelf life for good wrestling. But I'm saying if you're trying to, you know, develop a character within a world champion, like you just can't resort back to I'm going to have 4-star matches on TV. So
Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense because he can wrestle Kenny King one week and then what's his nuts? He can jiggle thighs with the long hair. I don't remember what his name is.
Jiggle thighs with the long hair.
Yeah,
Maria?
What's that?
Said Maria? I'll wrestle Maria.
Yeah, Maria Kanellis. But what I'm saying? He can run through all of them. So, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah. I listen, that does seem logical. That does seem logical. But now the next question is, what level of excitement is that going to generate beyond the people who are already going to be there? The people like you and me and the people in the chat right now who are going to be there and are going to buy the tickets no matter what. What level of excitement is that about to generate?
Yeah, because they do have to generate that excitement because
Impact Wrestling is going to search for some major talent that they could bring in. And obviously, in the male division for the male, um, I do not know what they could bring in.
Slammiversary was missing that. That's not like an opinion. It was missing that excitement, that buzz, big time. I mean, everyone was talking about it on social media who's an Impact fan. Even the most faithful were just like, "Where's the freaking buzz?"
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. And another thing that a lot of fans have been talking about lately, and I almost feel bad because I feel like we've been kind of leading this charge in some ways, but I kind of feel bad because I'm urging people to pull back on it now. I've been noticing a lot of people in the Impact Twitterverse like pointing out Impact's like poor marketing and things like that, and I'm just like, I feel kind of bad because I'm like,
See, I talked about this in the 2 videos about Impact Wrestling marketing. They need to appoint somebody that's with good marketing that can get them back to the level they was in 2017. Now, I don't know who was they head marketing person that can get tickets selling because I do want them to get back to that level when Anthem Sports Entertainment first purchased them. To sell tickets, sell out venues, and that way they could get back into big arenas that can pull in more fans. And promote themselves. Promote Access TV on ESPN, other cable network stations. You own your own stations. Take advantage of it.
man, it's just I've come to the realization that there's nothing that we
Like Gilbert said, no excitement outside the bubble. Impact isn't committed to growing. Now, when I hear people say something like that, it makes me think like they're not even trying. They're not even trying like they used to. You guys been in the business for 20 years. You guys were 10 to Impact. You guys used to bring in major talent like hotcakes. Kurt Angle from the Knicks. Christian Cage. I mean, y'all had Sting for crying out loud at one time. Hulk Hogan. Well, that was kind of a bad thing to bring in him. But it brought in fans though. I'm just saying, you know. You guys had major talent. Y'all were bringing in the Hardy Boys, Jeff Hardy, Booker T, Scott Steiner, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, everybody. You guys need to bring in major talent. When WWE released all those major superstars, y'all should have been the first people to say, I'm gonna give y'all this. I'm gonna give y'all free career reign. We're gonna give y'all however much money to make y'all happy in our promotion so we can rise to the top. You can help this company rise back to the top like we was once before. Y'all should have been the first company to pick up that phone and sign these major talent. But instead, y'all let AEW beat y'all to the punch. Wake up, Impact Wrestling. Wake up, Anthem Sports Entertainment. You guys need to get aggressive. Sign major talent. Stop signing these indie wrestlers. You don't need to sign. You don't need to get New Japan. It's cool that you're working with New Japan Pro Wrestling because when y'all were TNA Impact, yes, they did work with New Japan, but they didn't do it like that. They brought in major talent. We need major talent. We don't need these indie stars. WWE NXT tried that, and look what happened to them. They ended up having to revamp themselves and come back as NXT 2.0. They knew that wasn't working. You got to bring in major talent. Impact, Anthem Sports Entertainment. You guys ain't broke. Y'all couldn't afford any major talent with ease.
Can do about it. You know what I mean? And we enjoy this show. You know what I mean? We all enjoy this show, and we're going to keep enjoying this show.
And I disagree with TW. Yes, there is something we can do about it. We as fans have an obligation. And the obligation is to create this buzz around Impact Wrestling. To call out what they can do, like I do, what they can do better to build back up to that level. When Anthem Sports Entertainment bought 2017, they looked it like they are a billion-dollar company. They look like they are supposed to look like a billion-dollar company because they are. Anthem Sports Entertainment ain't broke. Impact Wrestling ain't broke. So it's up to us to point them things out, them small things out, you know. And I got Anthem website in the description. 50 million people can get Access TV. Okay, it come on every Thursday at 8/7 Central. At least 1 to 2 million viewership should be watching Impact Wrestling on Access TV. If you can't get Access TV on regular television, there's an app. If you got, check with your cable app. Like if you got Xfinity Comcast, download that TV to Go app. Type in access. If you can get access on your TV to Go app, watch it on your computer, on your mobile TV to go app cell phone. Watch it on your cell phone until you can get access TV on your television, like I used to do. But at least 1 or 2 million people should be watching Impact Wrestling. Okay, you shouldn't be DVRing the show. You should be watching this show live in order to get their viewership up. Get them out of 100,000 viewership. Get them out of there. That viewership needs to grow and grow and grow. At least 1 or 2 million people should be watching them because access can be reached in North America. 50 million people can get access. Their YouTube page, 4.42 million subscribers on their YouTube. At least 1 or 2 million people should be watching Impact Wrestling. Come on now. Support these guys. Buy their merch. Move their ticket sales. I got the description in the description below. But it's up to us to set them in the right direction. If 100 of us make videos pointing things out, what they can do to improve, it can reach thousands. Thousands can reach millions. And that's gonna create a lot of buzz for Impact Wrestling. They are a legendary promotion and they should be treated like such with respect. So I disagree that we can't do nothing. Yes, we can. We have an obligation to point these things out, what they can do to improve themselves and get back to that level like they're supposed to be. They're TNA Impact. Been around for 20 years. They just need to sign more major talent. Like I said, Sasha Banks, no longer with WWE. Anthem Sports Entertainment, give her what she's worth. Free career reign. Any money offer that she says she wants. Jump on it before AEW does. Because AEW is licking their chops right now. And you know I'm right. Give her what she's worth. Sign Sasha Banks, which she will be going by Mercedes if she does go with Impact Wrestling. Pair her up with Tasha Steelz, Savannah Evans. Make them three a trio. And you got your star right there. A major star that that can bring Impact right back up to the level like they used to be for the women's division. But if any major male talent comes available from WWE or AEW, sign them. But they gotta be a major talent. They can't be a homegrown talent from AEW. It's gotta be somebody that's well known, that can move some ticket sales and put some butts in seats.
It's a good damn show. It's a good damn show. And there's a lot to like about what Impact Wrestling is doing right now. But I think for us, this feeling of turning on the show and hoping that the bleachers are going to be full and it's going to look like a AEW show.
And this guy's, he's a letdown for everybody. I disagree with everything he's saying. Every time they do his podcast, he does this. I mean, he has his opinion, but we have obligation. We have to create buzz around Impact Wrestling. Make videos like I'm doing to tell them what they can improve. What they can improve. They was TNA Impact for crying out loud. They've been around for 20 years. You know, they got great storylines. They're doing everything right for a change. Like I said before, they just stop signing these indie people. WWE NXT, like I said, tried that. It didn't work. They need to sign major talent. And the first major talent that's a free agent right now is Mercedes, aka Sasha Banks. Impact, Give her free career reign, because that's what she been wanting from a promotion. It's free creative reign to be her true self and bring out her um, true personality, what she can be. WWE did not have no faith in what she can become, and that's a loss for them. But that's a gain for Impact Wrestling. It's time for Impact, TNA Impact, to start signing major, major, major talent like they used to. Forget the indies. Don't sign them. You are a major company. You've been around for 20 years. Start acting like it.
So it's just like we got to get away from that, man, because it's stealing our joy of just enjoying the show. And again, I I'm not saying we shouldn't want the company to grow, like that's fine, but we got to realize this is something that's beyond our control, one, and you always got to remember that.
Again, I'm going to say this again. It is beyond our control because we can make videos on YouTube. YouTube is a worldwide platform. And if we share our videos on our YouTube channel with our friends, our social media, it can create some buzz. And it can reach Anthem Sports Entertainment, and they can see how well the fans ain't happy, and we need to improve, and we need to do this. We need to elevate ourselves back up to that level, because this is a legendary promotion. You feel me? We're not gonna net the fans down because they're saying this, and we need to listen. So, like I said, hundreds turn into thousands, thousands turn into millions, and that's gonna make, and we're gonna be the ones to save Impact Wrestling and get them back up to the TNA level, the TNA Impact level. Mark my words.
That the best, indicator of future performance is past performance, right? And so like what and the the past performance of Impact Wrestling has shown us that they're going to put on a good show, but that just those things like marketing the product on a big scale, like remember like back in the day WWF wrestlers was going like Regis and Kathy Lee, and used to be made into like big stars, like
Yeah.
Impact they're not doing it, man. They're not doing it, and I think that like we got to stop breaking our necks trying to do it for them. You know what I mean? That's not
That's nah. I disagree with him again. No, no, no. I'm not giving up on Impact Wrestling because this is a major company, a major promotion. I'd be darned if 20 years is wasted and they be the next company to go out of business. I would not let them go out of business or sell to some like WWE or AEW. Heck no. Because sometimes Raw can be boring for 3 hours. They can have corny things like tonight. Why would you have Otis throwing up in the ring? What kind of craziness is that? But people still support that crap. Why? I would never know. But like I said before, I'm not gonna give up on Impact Wrestling. I'm gonna keep making videos like this. That's for sure. And y'all can like, subscribe, and share, and hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. I'm just responding to what they said and what this guy's saying. I mean, I respect his opinion. It is what it is. But I'm not giving up on Impact. This is beyond our control. Like I said, we have an obligation to spread the word about Impact Wrestling. 50 million people can get Access TV. Access TV should be doing at least. I mean, Impact Wrestling should be at least doing about 1 or 2 million viewership, and that's real. If 50 million people across North America can get Access TV, and just check with your local cable provider or get the Access TV app, So you can watch Impact Wrestling. And if you can't get access TV on your regular television set, like I said before, download your local cable app and search Access TV. You may get it on your cable app and not on the regular television like I used to, like I was getting at first. And now I can watch it on my regular television set. But 1 to 2 million people should be watching Access. Stop being lazy and stop DVRing the show. Watch it live. We need to get that viewership up. And we need so Impact Wrestling can get into bigger venues again and change what they are now to what they used to be in 2017. Because I show you videos. 2018, 2019 was horrible. How they failed so fast. They was in the nice big venture in 2017 when Anthem Sports Entertainment bought them, and then they start slowly falling into them small arenas, which was terrible. They are a major promotion. They're not NXT. They're not no developmental. This is a major promotion, and they need to be looking like the billion-dollar company like they are because they can afford anybody with ease. They need to start signing major talent, male and female. The next, if lightning does strike for the fourth or fifth time for Impact Wrestling, they better take advantage of it. If a superstar asks for a release from AEW, some stars ask major talent asks for a release from AEW, which is likely, probably can happen. You never know nowadays, or WWE. Impact Wrestling, Anthem Sports Entertainment better jump on that offer and offer them anything, any amount, because, like I said, they can afford anyone with ease. That's a major talent.
Not our job. We don't get paid to do it. But let's enjoy what we do have. And what we do have is a good wrestling show. You know what I mean? We have a good wrestling show, and I'd love them to just continue making it feel fun. Um, it, it I would say, hey fellas, marketing does lack something. They have to be realistic because Impact unfortunately comes up against the ceiling. Like, listen, to, here's the thing, man. Like, I work in television, and let me tell you something. Television budgets are crazy.
Listen, I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna keep saying this again because he's making good points, and I'm responding with good answers. Anthem owns Impact Wrestling. Okay, they own the other cable networks. They own Access TV. They are not on no budget. They can afford the production value with ease. Okay? When they first bought Impact Wrestling in 2017, it did not look like this. They had a professional announce table. They had a good stage set up. They had 630 rings still. They had graphics. The graphics was great when they first bought them. I don't know why they changed it. But I know one thing. Impact Wrestling ain't broke. They're owned by Anthem Sports Entertainment. They can afford their production with ease. So, Anthem Sports Entertainment, start acting like it. And stop acting like you're broke. Because you're not.
Crazy. And if you don't have the money, you shouldn't play. Okay, if you don't have the money, you shouldn't play. I played for I played for an arena football team one year, and like the dude who bought the team, I think spent all his money buying the team. Like, he didn't have money to buy us like a venue to practice in. Like, he like paychecks was like. Ugh.
I'm gonna respond to this question. This guy said, McGee, um, they need to focus on building on heavyweight division really bad. Right now, Impact Wrestling, Anthem Sports Entertainment really let a lot of major talent just pass them up that was released from WWE that was male talent that could have been in the heavyweight division. And they let Joey Morrissey go, which he could have been a heavyweight champion. He could have been the next one to face Josh Alexander. But for some reason, they didn't give him what he was offered, what he was worth. And so he said, I'm out the door. And that's a loss for Impact. TNA Impact didn't do that back in the day. They was quick to re-sign a major talent that was bringing in the fans, putting butts in seats. Impact, Anthem Sports Entertainment, stop doing it to Impact Wrestling. This company been around for 20 years. If a major talent comes up available, which I hope and pray that someone is not happy somewhere, WWE or AEW, that's a major talent and they're not happy the way they being treated, like Sasha Banks, sign them. Don't let AEW get their hands on another major talent. You guys ain't broke. You guys afford major talent with ease.
Is it coming? Is it not? You know what I mean? Like, and the whole thing is like, I learned from this. It's like spending all your money on a Mercedes, right? And you don't have money for gas, you don't have money for insurance, you don't have money for maintenance. Like, so you have a car, you have the car, but you can't do anything with it, right? Like, and again, that's like when you run a TV show, you got to have money for production. You got to have money for like little ifs and ands. If you get somebody to show up at your show who's a diva and they need special shit in their dressing room, like you got to have a budget for this type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like you got to have a budget for extras. You got to you know what I mean? Like all of this stuff, man. Like television budgets are crazy, crazy. That's why Eric Bischoff talks so much about the opportunity that was squandered when Spike TV was picking up the bill for the show. You know what I mean? Like, because again, you get a TV company that's in the TV business that understands these things I just mentioned about television shows, and you're able to do a lot more. And so I said all that to say that, like, yes, there's a lot more wiggle room for money that Impact may have, like a ceiling. But again, like if Anthem bought Access TV, they bought it from Mark Cuban. You know what I mean? And I believe Steve Harvey is a partner in Access TV with
Yeah,
Anthem.
he is.
Like they're not broke.
Mm-hmm.
They're not broke.
Yeah.
But the thing is that, like, the way these things work, the way big corporate things work, you have to present to them and show them how they're going to make their money back. If you're going to say, yo, I'd like a $5 million budget for Impact Wrestling this year, you have to show them how they're going to get that $5 million back. And you got to create a plan. Am I getting my $5 million back this year? Is this an investment where I'll get it back 3 years from now? Like, you got to be able to tell them. And I think, listen, I don't doubt that Scott D'Amore is asking for more. You know what I mean? Because, like, again, if I'm him, I'd be at my wit's end, bro, because he has to hear these conversations. You know what I mean? Like, and they, Scott D'Amore, Gail Kim, Ross Foreman, all these people, Josh Matthews, like, bravo to you guys, man. Y'all put on a good ass show. We like it. We love it. We want some more of it. Okay. Like, we're a big fan of the show, but there's also, like, so many glaring areas where it's lacking. And my whole point of this little soliloquy here was just to say that, like, as fans, man, let's just enjoy the show, because we can't control this stuff no matter how bad we want them to.
I'm gonna say this one last time. Yes, we can. We can control the narrative. We can We have an obligation to spread buzz about these people. If Anthem Sports Entertainment and Impact Wrestling start hearing a lot of the wrestling fan base talk about what they need to improve, how to improve it, then they would start to change them things back to where they used to be, like in 2017. This is a legendary wrestling company, been around for 20 years. TNA Impact. Okay? Hundreds of us would turn into thousands, and thousands would turn into millions. Yes, we can create change. That's how change starts. We have to speak out. We can't just stay silent, because if we stay silent, things won't change. Things will always remain the same. So speak out.
We can't make them run more ads on different platforms. You know what I mean? Like we can't make them do different sizzle videos to promote the events. We can't make them, send people more places. We can't make them hire a digital producer to create more content. Like it's that stuff is out of our control, man. But damn it, we got a good ass show that we're here talking about, and it's fun. And let's just enjoy that because, like, I'm here for the joy, man. I'm here for the joy, and I'm moonwalking out of the shit I can't control business.
And it is. It's a very very good show. I watched the only other I watched some NWA, but I watched AEW religiously along with Impact. It's better than AEW. It's better than Dynamite. There's aspects of it that make it not better when you're talking about presentation and the budget, obviously. So like Dynamite's gonna come across better. It's gonna be a little easier to watch maybe, but at the same time, if you're really just putting it on the equal playing field, I don't think it's better. I think Impact's putting on a really good show right now. It's pretty rare that I'm just like, yo, this episode sucked. Like there was one like a month ago. We didn't want to review it because we didn't like it. It's pretty rare that happens, but they do put on a good show. And you're right, man. We just got to focus on enjoying because like when I first started podcasting, it was out of absolute love for the company. And in the beginning, I'm kind of like, hey, I got a little experience with marketing and education, and here's some things they could be doing. But then as the years pass, very few of those things were actually being implemented, and to
Right.
me, it was like really common sense, like do this, and this, and a lot of my ideas were cost efficient or cost
Mm-hmm.
nothing, you know. But over the years, I'm like, okay, I got these ideas. It was fun at the beginning for me to be like, oh, I would like to see them do this with the website, or I like to see them do this kind of content. But then after like 4 years, and it's like just just minute improvements in certain areas,
Yeah.
I started becoming, that's where I start getting the real negative,
Mm-hmm.
you know, people start seeing me as super negative because I start getting really frustrated. Like at some point you're just like, yo, this has to improve, and it's not. There's a lot that has improved. That's not what I'm saying, but there's certain things that I find really important that weren't improving, and then I just found myself, you know, having anger towards the company. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm starting to come back to now be like and understand like exactly what you're saying. Just kind of enjoy the show. If they see that something is important, they're going to do it. Like I can sit here. I've for almost 2 years now. Every episode been complaining about the damn "We Own the Night" song, and it's clearly not going away. So now I'm just pissing my, I'm just making it hard for me to watch because I keep focusing on the damn song. So now I just mute it whenever that comes on. Um, they could be talking about promoting next week or Bound for Glory or whatever the hell. I have no idea because I mute anytime I hear the song. But clearly, there's just some things that are not going to change. So you just got to learn to just enjoy the product they're putting out, which is good.
I'm gonna say this one more time. Speak out. We can make change. If we remain silent and we enjoy this show, nothing is gonna change. There's gotta be more of us. Hundreds turn into thousands. Thousands turn into millions. if Anthem Sports Entertainment that owns Impact Wrestling start getting all these buzz about Impact Wrestling, what they need to improve to get back to the 2017 level, like when they first bought this company, and what they need to in order to make some money back. They would raise their pay of Impact Wrestling to look like the billion-dollar company, like they are. They've been around for 20 years. They need to look like a billion-dollar company, like when they first bought the company in 2017. When after first bought the company in 2017, and I played the Crip, it looked so good. They had a six-sided ring. It defined Impact Wrestling. They didn't have the camera pointing at the stage. They had it pointing regular. It was good. So we need to speak out. Despite what they say, what they think, their opinions, nothing's gonna change unless we all speak out.
I'm sorry, I didn't know you got distracted there for a second. So I'm gonna look and see. I'm just gonna check out a couple comments here. So I can accept what Impact is. They do well enough with the TV they produce, but the pay per view should be a big step up.
Nah, you should never accept what this company is. You need to speak out. Make videos. You know, make those hundreds turn into thousands. Thousands turn into millions. Make your opinions what they need to prove. Make it go viral. Anthem Sports Entertainment will hear that. That's how change is created, everyone. When you sign, like, for example, when you sign petitions for different things, like in your community, in the world, it will reach major people. If you don't speak out, change won't happen, and it won't happen overnight, but it will gradually happen over time.
I agree. I think we got to make them, the pay per view, some of these shows feel a little bit bigger than they are. Especially during the empty arena stuff, it was just like watching an episode of Impact. There was like no difference whatsoever. Only limitations that keep Impact from growing are the ones they place on themselves. I can agree with that.
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways you're definitely. I definitely agree with that. So if you watch Impact, it's clear they're the most consistently great product. No, I agree, man. I agree in so many ways. Like Impact, I talked earlier about the knockouts, and there's a lot of outlets that cover like women's wrestling, and I'm gonna be on these outlets' asses this week because when I see any outlet talking about women's wrestling, they better be mentioning Impact because I think Against All Odds was a great example that there's not another wrestling company on TV that is doing women's wrestling as well as Impact is right now. You said Access TV and Anthem have failed Impact. They've done nothing but content for them and their business. Yo, listen, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know, man. Look, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, and again, as fans, it's just not stuff that we can really worry about. Let's just enjoy the show. That, like, again, like we can't like plug our ears and put our hands in this, put our heads in the sand. Like we're grown ups, right? Like we look at things like this, right? Like we look at like the money, why things are succeeding or aren't succeeding. Like all this stuff makes sense to talk about this stuff, but I'm just saying, like look, we worry about this a lot. If you pay attention to like the conversation among like Impact Twitter.
I disagree with what that guy said. Talk about Access TV and Anthem Sports Entertainment fell. No, because if people type in Impact Wrestling 2017 on YouTube, they the first show they mentioned the new owners, which was Anthem Sports Entertainment, and that's when Anthem Sports Entertainment took over Impact Wrestling. They did not look like this. Matter of fact, I will show y'all what I'm talking about. And mark my words, they was owned by. This is when Anthem first bought them. I'm typing 2017.
What is that? Why is there a third headset on the table? Why is there a chair sitting here? We're not. What does? Hello? Why is that out here? Did someone not clean up their area properly? I mean, we're not doing a three-man booth. This is not going to be a three-man booth. This isn't SmackDown where they have 47 announcers. What the hell is this? Why is he out here? Why does he have a video wall? It's Jeremy Borash. Okay, why does he have a video wall, and why is the picture 37 years old? Look at, that's not even how he looks.
They looked at like that.
Why is he out here?
They are a billion-dollar company. They looked at real great.
No, he's not out here for this. No. Get the hell out of here.
How you doing, Jeremy? Welcome to the broadcast table.
Get the hell out of here.
Sorry?
Get the hell out of here. You have no business being out here. Why are you here?
Why
Get
am
out
I
of
here? Hang on. You know, this maybe the whole world should hear this.
Yeah.
Hi, Pope. It's nice to see you. How's everybody doing tonight? Real quick, I just wanted to say something. Josh, the reason I'm out here is because there are new owners in this company, and this new ownership thought maybe there needs to be
New owners of the company. He was talking about Anthem Sports Entertainment. JB was talking about Anthem Sports and Entertainment. Jeremy Borash. And mind you, they looked it good. They looked it good. Now, I don't know how come they went from this to where they are now. It doesn't add up or make sense, but we can fix it. We can get them back to that level. It's up to us. Hundreds turn into thousands. Thousands turn into millions. We create change for Impact Wrestling. This company been around for 20 years. This company was TNA Impact. It's up to us to get them back to this level.
a little more excitement at this announce table. Maybe there needs to be some more vibrance. Maybe somebody needs to be sitting out here that the people actually kind of like.
Excitement.
Yeah.
Excitement. Vibrance. JD, you've been here since day one. You've been here since the very beginning. If you were any good, if you have earned to sit in this chair by now, you would have been. It's my chair. It's mine. You don't deserve to be out here.
Okay. All right. Josh, you're right. I have been here 15 years. I have been here at every show. I've never missed a live event. I've never missed an Impact. I've never missed a personal appearance in 15 years, Josh. But that's irrelevant because one thing that's not irrelevant is the fact that, well, these people don't like you at all. One thing that's not irrelevant, Josh, is the fact you've gone on record and disrespected the legends of this business. One thing that is not a secret is the fact that, well, you've pissed a lot of people off, including these fans, including the people in the back. And the new owners thought, well, maybe there needs to be some real excitement out here at the announce table. So, Josh, I'm here to tell you that it's time that maybe we just change things up a little bit. You see, I'll let you know something. For 12 years, there was a guy who sat at this table by the name of Mike Tenay. A guy who sat at this table for 12 years and took me under his wing, mentored me with the idea that someday he would pass the throne to me and I'd be sitting in that lead announce table chair.
My chair.
Yeah. But guess what happened? About 3 years ago, somebody left the WWE. Oh, sorry, correction. Somebody was fired from the WWE. And a couple of idiots who no longer work here looked at him and thought, well, he's the model announcer. I'll tell you what a model wrestling announcer is these days. It's a Ken doll with no balls. And you fit the description to a T.
So for 12 years, you were mentored by Mike Tenay. Who? Mike Tenay? Okay. While you were being mentored by that guy, I was sitting underneath the learning tree of Jim Ross. I was calling WrestleMania in the Georgia Dome in front of 80,000 people and millions watching around the world on television.
Yeah, you were
not in front of these people who come here to this place for free.
Did you hear he just said? He actually dropped the name Jim Ross. Jim Ross is a friend of mine. Jim Ross thinks you're an arrogant prick. And every announcer that has come before him, whether it's Jim Ross or Gordon Soley, God rest your soul. The man that sits in that chair needs to have respect for this industry, respect for the boys in the back, and most of all, respect for these fans. So I'll tell you what, Josh. The new ownership thought, well, why don't I just have a seat right here? And I've got a lot of bombs to drop tonight. You know why? Because I actually know what's going on back there. I actually talk to the wrestlers. I actually talk to the fans. And guess what? Tonight...
You talk to these people? I go a different route, JB. I don't talk to these people. Just make that very clear. That's a big difference between you and I. Cody Rhodes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can officially start the show. The American Nightmare is in the Impact Zone.
Another star who's making things great.
I'm going to go ahead and poll the audience. Who wants to see myself versus Moose tonight? Right? Moose, 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 Moose. I'll fight him right now. I'll fight. You guys want me to fight him right now?
Come on.
Strong words.
Ridiculous. I'll tell you what. Guess what? Coming up next, a brand new tag team is hitting the scene here, and that's just the first of many surprises that you don't even know about.
See, they looked at like $1 million. They looked at like the billion-dollar company that they are, and that was back in 2017. You know, that was back in 2017.
Twitterdom. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people were talking about this stuff, and I'm just saying, man, like, you know, let's dial it back a little bit because we can't control it. Like the Scott D'Amore, unless he's got a burn.
Yes, we can control it. Hundreds turn into thousands. Thousands turn into millions. And like it or not, we create change. We make the change of what Impact needs to improve and how they can get back up to the 2017 level, like when they was on Pop TV. Because Access TV can reach 50 million people. At least 1 or 2 million people. 1 or 2 million. They should be at least getting 1 to 2 million viewership every Thursday. Stop DVRing the show. Watch it live like the old days, okay? You couldn't afford to sit down and watch Impact Wrestling live, okay? And I think Access TV repeats if you miss it at 8/7 Central. It comes on at 11/10 Central at night if you didn't miss the live show at 8/7 Central. But if you can, watch it live. Like I said, search Access TV in your cable package. You got a cable app. Watch it on your mobile app. If you got like Xfinity, Comcast, TV to Go app. If you got that, watch Access TV on that. If you can't watch it on your regular television set, that's what I did until I started getting access on my regular television set. But we create change. Get them to 1 or 2 million viewership. Access TV can reach 50 million people in North America.
Burner account. He's not in these chats seeing what the people think. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, you know, they're out there trying to do what's best for the product, you know, with what they have. And again, like, I think Scott D'Amore deserves nothing but praise. If you just look at what Impact has done since, you know, he's been in charge over there, they've done a lot of fun stuff, and they are trying stuff. They're taking big.
I agree with Michael Spikes. He said, I want to see more video packages about talent coming to Impact Wrestling. Yes, do that. Because when it was TNA Impact, they used to make a lot of video packages. Sasha Banks, which if she does sign to Impact Wrestling, she would use her real real name, which is Mercedes. Get her. Anthem Sports Entertainment, give Impact Wrestling the money to sign her. She's been looking for a great promotion like y'all to just let her do her own thing, let her run wild, let the chains out for her. And I believe she will be, she's a major talent and she can just elevate that knockouts division to a level like they once was back in the day. You know? So Impact, Anthem Sports Entertainment, Impact Wrestling ain't broke, but they need to look like they used to look back in 2017 when Anthem Sports Entertainment first bought the company.
Big swings, like working with other companies. They tried the first women's world champion, like you know what I mean, like going.
Again, in my view, Impact doesn't need to work with no other company, especially AEW, because AEW is just gonna let their talent look weak, and they don't. It's like AEW doesn't respect Impact, but they want to steal things that they started, like the entrance tunnels. Impact started that back in the day. Look it up. Um, but I think the only company that was helping Impact Wrestling was WWE. They made Mickey James look real strong in that Royal Rumble. AEW never did nothing like that. They would probably throw up. They would probably make sure she thrown out the Royal Rumble like in 2 or 3 minutes, and they would make her look real weak. But WWE made her look real strong. They announced her as the Impact Women's Knockout Champion, you know, and yeah. I mean, if they work with a company like WWE, that's gonna like make sure that their talent looks strong and not weak like AEW, then all means yes. But don't work with no company like AEW that's gonna make your talent look weak. You deserve better, Impact. Anthem Sports Entertainment, don't let them don't let no company make Impact Wrestling look weak. They are legendary. They've been around for 20 years.
Back and forth between Canada and the US. Like, you know, they've tried a lot of stuff. I think like we can't say that Scott Demore is not doing everything in his power to get Impact popping. But when you run a TV show, you're beholden to your budget. You know what I'm saying? You want to.
Okay, Eddie Prego. Prego always maintained when they got rid of TNA name, they should have done a whole new rebrand and do away with Impact name as well. Should have focused on it being. No! No, no, I disagree with that. No, no. Because then people would think like, okay, you're running away from the Impact lane. Yeah, it was TNA Impact back in the day. No, no, it not should no, no, not based in no Canada base. No, the name stays. This is a legendary company. I disagree with that. No, and they just need to promote themselves more. Run commercial ads on ESPN, um, so people know that they're still around. And they'll be creative with the ads. That's all. Hire a good marketing promoter. And like I said, if you want to go to a Impact Wrestling live event, the link is in the description. You want to purchase their merch? The link is in the description. They got some good merch, you know. Move those ticket sales at them live events, because there's nothing um like being at an Impact Wrestling show live and in person. It's amazing.
Read this one.
Yeah, because I agree with it. He always maintained that when they got rid of the TNA name, they should have done a whole new rebrand and do away with the Impact name as well. Should have focused on being Canadian based. Uh, I think there was a period where we really thought they were going to be Canadian based, like he was going to be shot out of there, and I think that was the plan because when I was talking to Taryn Terrell one time, um, this was after she was released. They say that she requested her release, but she didn't. But I was chatting with her, and she was like, they didn't want to use me anymore because they thought they were gonna do all their TV in Canada, and I can't get into Canada. She's like, and now
That's what
they're
I'm
not
saying.
shooting in Canada, so that's what she was kind of bringing up, like this. So I do feel that was the plan at one point. The crowd was always hot there, and if you always talk about if we see the people having fun, we're conditioned to think it's a fun product, and then when we're gonna go, we want to have that same level of fun.
I disagree with this other guy. Impact is not going to Canada. I mean, yeah, they could tour in Canada, but every now and then. But no, they're not going to Canada on a permanent basis. WWE will go to Canada sometime, yes, but they're not gonna stay in Canada like that. Okay? Yes, they will tour in Canada, but right now they either focus on getting themselves back up to 2017 level when Anthem Sports Entertainment first purchased the company. Cause I just played the clip. Impact Wrestling 2017 was great. The production was great. It sounded great. The six-sided ring, mm, great. Um, bring that back because that's what defines Impact Wrestling is that six-sided ring. Having a regular ring, it just makes them like any other promotion. Go back to that. It can catch people's eyes.
Fun as well. But when they rebranded, I at the time felt they needed to completely get away from just being TNA. Period. Now they have a hard time saying, "Oh, we want to respect our past." I do think a lot of this reliance on the library is due to television deals they have in other markets out of the United States.
Hmm.
There, where I believe that content is very popular, the old stuff. So I think that's why they rely on it quite a bit. So I can see where they're just like, we're not just going to completely not be TNA anymore. But I think by branding to Impact, it was
Hmm.
just still basically TNA because the show
Yeah,
was already called Impact.
yeah, it
So
was
at the,
TNA Impact.
I think it slowed the rebrand process down. There was a lot more I wanted to see them do to like really just jumpstart as a new company. I thought keeping Josh Matthews on commentary too long was hurtful because that still tied you into bad years of TNA. So but that's all I got on that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Listen, TNA was the most damaged brand name in the history of entertainment. Like you know, but that said, I said it before. I'll say it again, man. Like to me, the official death of TNA was that date sometime in July. I believe it might have been like July 14th or something like that. It was there was a tweet in July that came out from I think it was TMZ that Spike TV was canceling Impact Wrestling. That validated all the rumors of Impact's demise that had been,
And the reason why Spike TV canceled TNA Impact Wrestling is because Spike TV went bankrupt. I'm sure y'all. That most people don't. They people just saying they canceled it because it wasn't right. Let me see when Spike TV ended. Okay, parent company was MTV Entertainment Group, which I think the Paramount is the owners of that product. Um, okay, here we go. In May 2019, the Spike brand was relaunched in the US as two streaming channels on Pluto TV. See, that was, and it was acquired by Viacom, which Viacom owns BET, MTV. That's who bought Spike TV. So Spike Lee sold to Viacom. Okay? That's what happened to Spike TV. That's why uh, TNA Impact couldn't come on Spike TV no more. And that's why Impact Wrestling, from them different stations, cable stations, they went from Spike TV to, after they left Spike TV, I think they went to Pop TV or Destination America before going to Pursuit, then Access TV, which is owned by Anthem Sports Entertainment. But it's not the fact that TNA Impact was boring back then, because they was getting a lot of people back in 2014. I could pull up a, let me pull up an Impact Wrestling 2014, and I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. Because Impact Wrestling in 2014 was like a golden era. They pulled in a lot of people. Let me see. Because Spike TV, Spike Lee sold Spike TV to Viacom. That's what forced them to, forced Impact Wrestling to go elsewhere. Let's see, I type in 2014. I'm just going to show how big the thing is. Okay, March 6th, 2014. Look at this.
In 3 days, you're looking at the man
look at how
who is going to own 10% of TNA Wrestling.
This looked like, this looked good. Look at how fans.
In 3 days, at lockdown, this company will change. It will be ran the rude way. And the only thing standing in my way is you, MVP.
Now, mind you, it's an MVP and a whole bunch of people is open now.
Well, this isn't MVP's music.
No, it's the fourth
member of Team Dixie. It's Austin Aries.
Mind you, it was dark, but it wasn't.
Hey, Bobby, let's not get ahead of ourselves. When Austin Aries makes the kind of decision that I made last week, you know that it's well thought out, and it's because it's what's in my best interest. You may have beaten MVP last week, but everybody here, everybody at home, they all know it's because I helped you. And I know 10% isn't a big piece of the pie.
Just showing they had a lot of people back then. I don't know what it was, but yeah, they had a lot of people back then. Back in 2014. But it's not because TNA Impact was canceled. It's because Spike TV was canceled. Spike Lee decided to sell Spike TV because Spike TV was owned by Spike Lee. That's why, Spike thing, and he sold it to Viacom, which Viacom bought it, rebranded it as Pluto TV, a streaming service now, and Viacom owns, MTV, BET, VH1, such and such. But yeah. But they was doing good when they went to Pop TV. They was doing like 1 million viewership, So I can see why people say, maybe they should go to a well-known cable station that everyone can get. 50 million people, like I said, can get Access TV. And if 50 million people across North America get Access TV, it should be doing at least 1 to 2 million in viewership. Tops. So, I don't hear nobody saying, um, I should move to another station because, Anthem Sports Entertainment owns Access TV and that's not going to happen. They just need to promote themselves more and get their name out. When they first started going to Access TV, they should have been running commercial ads on Pop TV saying they was moving. I don't know if they did or not, but that's what they should have did.
around since the company's inception. And it just like all the LOL TNA was validated and just it just to me that really was the death of Impact Wrestling when that tweet came out that Spike TV was canceling Impact Wrestling. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. That was like 8 years ago, dog. That was like 8 years ago. There's a 15-year-old wrestling fan that was like 7 or 8 years old when that happened. What are you doing to get that fan? Don't worry about me. Okay? I'm 40 years old. I've been here. I'm gonna be here. I like wrestling. I'll watch just about anything with wrestling in the title. I'll give it a shot. Okay? But what are you doing for that young fan to make sure this company is here in the future? That's the question Impact needs to answer for themselves. And like, I talk a lot of shit about like, what Impact, about them not necessarily giving Scott D'Amore the budget he needs. But let's talk about this though, right? Like, in terms of a company, right? Like, you understand a company's mission statement, right? Like WWE, right? Their tagline at the beginning of their show, then, now, forever together. And then look at like what they do. They always show you the kids. They show you the kids in the audience.
About Lady Frost, I wanted to address that. She's not really gone. Yes, she requested her release, but Anthem Sports Entertainment, Impact Wrestling, they yet to grant her release. So they're still trying to work out a deal to make sure she's happy. And Anthem Sports Entertainment, give Impact the money to make her happy. If she want a higher budget, yes, give her a great deal. You couldn't afford it, okay? Keep her. She's a keeper. You're not broke. Show people you're not broke. You can re-sign her with ease. The negotiating on her contract is going on right now. Give her what she's asking for. Give her what she's worth.
Wearing the branded products, enjoying it, having a good time. They show you the young adults losing their minds when big moments happen. They show you people enjoying it. And they show you the flashbacks of the stuff you loved as a kid, the big moments. And again, it all ties in. Then what we loved in the past. Now, what we got right now. Forever. This company's going to be here forever. Together, all the fans. That's the together part, right? It's the us and you, right? Like, you understand what their marketing is, right? Like, they are clear about the mission statement that they want. WWE wants you to know that this is the product that you love, that your parents probably loved, and that you can bring your kids and they'll love it too. Okay? Like, they intentionally put something there for everybody. Okay? Like, there's a if you look on Twitter, there's something really cool. This man, oh God, brother, I think his name is Victor Perry. He's a school teacher in New York City, and he does this thing called the Wrestling Club, where he like has kids like spend their lunch period in the room with him, and they watch wrestling and they talk about wrestling. It's like a school club, and it's so dope, right? Like, you're building more generations. And here's the thing too, he shows them, like, this is like, New York City, it's like inner city school, you know what I mean? So he'll show them like, Kofi Mania and Big E and Carmelo Hayes. And that's intentional on WWE's part too, right? Like, they're trying to show you a variety of characters who represent different aspects of the audience. And so I just went off on that WWE tangent to give you an example of clear marketing on a mission statement on behalf of the company. WWE knows what their mission statement is. Who can tell me what Impact's mission statement is? Anybody in the chat? Thank you. Exactly. We have no idea what Impact's mission statement is. I don't know that Impact knows what their mission statement is. Okay? Like, there's stuff that they can, and when we talk about the marketing aspect of it, that's part of it too. Okay, that's part of it too. I've been saying forever that one of the things Impact needs to show is fans lined up, interviewing them outside. Who do you think's gonna win tonight? You like Josh Alexander? You like Joe Doran? You think you like I don't know more? Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's get some rotation of people talking about this stuff, man. Like, you have to show that fans are.
Speaking of that, they used to have people like that. They used to have JB Borash interviewing the fans and interacting with the fans. I'm gonna pull some up what they used to do. Let's see, JB. See, I type in, see if it come up. Okay. Um, I could have sworn they used to do that a long time ago, but it's not coming up. I don't think. Um, um, pretty sure that I thought they used to interview the people, but I don't know. I could have sworn they used to do. Probably was doing a match or something. I mean, doing a show. But anyway, they used to do that a long time ago. I remember that. They Jeremy Borash, JB used to I guess talk to the fans, and they used to be taking turns with somebody else interviewing the fans what they think of the show and what they're excited to see.
Are interested. Like, people believe what they see. That's what marketing is showing it to them. So if you want people to get over this idea that people don't like Impact, you need to show people that people like Impact. Y'all
Right.
hear
I
me?
always say,
You know what I mean?
yeah, I always say the difference,
Yeah,
a difference between
I
promoting and
agree.
marketing is promoting is what you want them to see, and the marketing is how you're going to get them to want to see it.
Yeah,
You know, just a way of looking at it. So when it's just we're just tweeting match graphics and that's it, like it's not going
Right.
to work.
Right.
It's just not. Speaking of what's not going to work, and we'll wrap this up here in a little bit. They've been doing this. I commend them for trying something different. They've been doing this photo contest on Twitter, which I keep saying Twitter has their worst reach.
yeah, for real.
Twitter's a good tool for quick news,
hmm
but for the most part, the reach is not good, especially if
Yeah,
you're
definitely
doing
good.
region specific tweets. Like region specific, you have to do targeted ads. You can't attention everyone in the Atlanta area, to your Twitter fan base because the people who are not from Atlanta aren't gonna like it, and the less likes a post gets, the less people will see it organically. That's the way social media works.
Yeah,
But they've been doing this contest. Take a picture in front of this thing, and I think the latest ones you can be in a drawing for free tickets. And it's like the only comment on there is, Mike Gilbert with the picture that I made of Vince McMahon, that when he's stepping up.
I mean, I kind of disagree and agree with what this guy said. If they continue to go this route, people's gonna think like they're a developmental company. This is a major company. This company been around since freaking 2002, 20 years. NWA helped them get to the top. to become a major promotion. They're not a developmental company. They just need to get out of this stage and back to when Anthem first purchased this company. I don't know what Anthem did, but it seems like Anthem brought them down instead of up like they was when Anthem Sports Entertainment first bought them in 2017. It looked it so good. They had the 6-side ring. They had the brew. Was real good. Professional announce table. I just want them to, go back to back then. Like I said, hundreds of us turn into thousands. Thousands turn into millions. We can go worldwide. We can create the change for Impact Wrestling. Anthem Sports Entertainment, hear our complaints, our opinions, our suggestions. They will listen. It's up to us to create the change for Impact Wrestling.
I have
Uh-huh.
him. I put him in the picture. That's the only one on there.
Mm.
They tried this before. Only two people participated. No one reached out to any of them. So I know one of them for sure just went to the venue. Was like, "Hey, I entered this contest, and because it wasn't a sellout, they're just like, oh yeah, go ahead and come in." You know,
Right.
but you want to do social media contests, but you have to do stuff that everyone can get involved in because you do that region specific shit that doesn't like it only works again if you put out if you pay you break bread and put out a targeted ad to the people who live there. That's the only way that's going to work, and it just makes them look ridiculous because no one's no one's involved. I
Yeah.
commend them for doing it. They should be doing stuff like that, but you there's just a way to do an online contest, and like that's not it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So like, it's cool, man, that there's a lot of people who care. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who care and keep caring, man. Keep caring, keep supporting the product, but like, there's more fans out there, man. They just got to work to get them.
Yeah,
They got to work to
it
get them. And I
is for
think that
real.
like, again, I think if,
Just like I said before, Anthem Sports Entertainment owns Access TV. Access TV, 50 million people across North America can get Access TV. At least 1 or 2 million people should be watching Impact Wrestling every Thursdays at 8/7 Central. And Anthem's website is in the description of this video. So is the Impact Wrestling shop zone because people should be buying their merch to support them. You know, you want to go to an Impact Wrestling live event? That link is in the description. You know, we gotta elevate them, elevate Impact to get back to the 2017 levels. You know, when Anthem Sports Entertainment first bought them.
if you gave me a job inside of it, and by the way, like the one thing that we have to remember when we talk about this stuff like this, right, is like Josh Matthews, right? Like he does a lot behind the scene at Impact.
First of all, I'm gonna respond to this guy, Michael Spikes. I wish Impact Wrestling would stop always signing ex WWE people. It makes the company look back by what? Okay. If that's the case, AEW should stop signing ex WWE people. You don't see no one in the AEW fans saying nothing like that. Yes, they want to sign top talent. Impact needs to sign top talent. NXT, like I said before, WWE NXT tried to sign unknown indie talent. It didn't work. That is why you think we're at NXT 2.0, because they had to release all those unknown talent that hardly no one knew, and they had to just go back to what WWE was known for, making big stars, not no stars that does flips and kicks. They tried that. It didn't work. Impact Wrestling, when they signed Top Talent back in the day when there was TNA Impact, all eyes was on them. It brung more butts in the seats. It moved the ticket sales. They sold more merch. It was good. So, Michael Spikes, if that's the case, you should tell AEW that. You should tell them to stop signing ex-WWE people. Because that's what AEW has done. AEW has more top major ex-WWE talent than Impact Wrestling does. And that's a fact. So, don't tell me that Impact Wrestling needs to stop. They need to start more. If any WWE talent comes up available, they need to be the first person to beat AEW to the punch and sign them. And that's how they're going to bring in more major talent. They need major stars. They don't need no unknown stars. NXT tried it, didn't work.
Right? Like, he worked at WWE for a long time. He knows what the machine is supposed to look like. Okay, like I guarantee, as a member of production, he was CC'd on emails about all type of shit.
Okay, True Fight 11. Impact's market. Impact marketing was always bad, even in their. I disagree with that. They moved ticket sales in their glory years. Don't give me that BS. Okay, those ticket sales moved. They was always promoting commercials, showing commercials on different networks. I think they showed a TNA commercial doing Raw, if I'm not mistaken. But they was always promoting. So I disagree with you on that question. Their marketing was better back then than it is right now.
In WWE, like, he knows, the levels of promotion, and I'm sure he's asked for some of that. Okay, like again, he doesn't want to, do things on a shoestring budget, because again, he knows what it should look like. He knows what it can look like. I'm sure people have asked for this. It's on the. If you want to get on somebody, find, who's my man, Ed Nornholm. Get at him. Ask him to open up the budget. Okay.
Okay. And no, he's the one that's like over Impact Wrestling, and he works with the executives with Anthem Sports Entertainment. Yeah, I know who he is. But I'm gonna get into this question. Let's see. Yes, they should. I agree with Eddie. They should go to people's local radio station, give out tickets, just like WWE does. Yes, they should. I agree with you on that. They should. They will put more butts in seats. Who's in charge of Impact Wrestling? Social media more. They don't really have a social media team, not that I know of. But they need a social media team in order to spread the word. I'm doing all I can. These guys are doing all they can, but we need more of us. We need thousands that turn into. We need hundreds that turn into thousands. Thousands that turn into millions, and that can reach and we can create the change for Impact Wrestling as a wrestling community together.
Hey, ask him to open up the budget, because look, like Impact, they just need to hire more people to do these jobs well. Like, it's nice to hire people, people who are trying to, build up their resume and volunteer to help out Impact in all these various ways. But you need to hire professionals. Like, there are people. Again, a few weeks ago, I just pulled up a chat with a buddy of mine who's a like a real social media strategist, like not like somebody who just manages a Twitter account for somebody. Like and I just asked him to look over, the way Impact was doing their marketing. You know what I mean? He pointed out, like, look at the ads they're running, look at the amount of ads they're running, look at, what their Twitter feed.
Yeah, these ads on XST we need to stop. Anthem Sports Entertainment, these ads is for like old people. Okay? These commercial ads are terrible. Get some younger uh commercial ads in there. Don't get no old people ads in like Viagra commercials and what are you doing? Phone chat line commercials? The heck? Stop running it. Run up to date commercial ads like Raw does, like SmackDown does, like NXT does. This ain't right. Those older commercial ads for older people needs to go. If you want to target a younger audience, run better and younger commercial ads. Okay? Stop doing that.
Feed is, what their feed is on this and on that. And it's like the answers are obvious. You know what I'm saying? So like you got to hire people who know what they're doing. And that's no knock to anybody who's there now, but you get what you pay for. You know what I'm saying? Like when you hire somebody, think of your job, right? No matter what, if your job is to sweep the floors at the barbershop.
Okay, thank you for that response, Josh Matthews. If Josh Matthews is in charge of social media accounts on YouTube, he ain't doing a good job. That's for sure. He is not doing a great job. He needs to do better. Okay? Or they could find somebody else that can move those social media numbers in the right direction, especially YouTube, which is a worldwide platform that can reach millions. Um, but other than that, yeah.
And they start asking you to cut hair, good luck. Okay, like it's not like, like you could do it because you're a soldier, you're a trooper. You could be like, hey, there's a line out the door. Let me help you guys out. But it's just not going to be the quality that they would want. Okay, like it is what it is. So anyway, all of that said, like let's again, we got a good show here, man. Let's keep enjoying the show. Let's keep let's keep chatting with each other. Let's all go out of our way to follow at Talk About Pod on.
Like I said, more of us need to speak out. Hundreds turn into thousands. Thousands over time turn into millions. And each of us have an obligation. Get Impact back up to the 2017 level when Anthem Sports Entertainment first bought them. We can make it happen. We can make change in Impact Wrestling, for Impact Wrestling. It's up to us. We can either sit back, not do nothing, and change would never happen, or we can get on our butts and do that. And I want y'all to hit that like, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and also subscribe to the Impact Lounge, because these guys are very reliable. I disagree with half the things they say, but that's their opinion. Like the fact that we can't do nothing. Yes, we can. We can make change, and that's for darn sure. But follow these guys on their platform, and I'm gonna need y'all to the rest of what they got to say.
YouTube and on Twitter and on Instagram. And BQ, where can the people find you on these social media streets and avenues?
BQ Speaks at Twitter, Impact Lounge on Twitter, the Impact Lounge on Facebook, the Impact Lounge on social media. Instagram. Mm-hmm. And we'll just make this. We'll just address this one real quick, and then we'll sign off. With budget, we are not saying open up the budget so we start getting pyro and things like that. But by opening budget, you're putting people
Nah, we're not saying pyro. Baby steps. Baby steps. Because in TNA, they didn't have that much pyro anyways. And WWE, for a long time, didn't have pyro at all. They started bringing pyro back, I say, about 2, 3 years ago. They had stopped with they pyro. They ain't saying that. They just saying get them back up to 2017 level, like when Anthem Sports Entertainment first bought the company. That's all we saying, and bring back that six-sided ring because that's what defines Impact Wrestling.
You're hiring more people. You're hiring better people.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not going to say what I make for a living. I'm comfortable though. But there's people who do my exact same job that make half of what I make. But my company is like, we want the best people to do this,
Right.
so we're going to pay you this.
Right.
But if you tell someone, oh, we're going to bring you on board for $12 an hour, what's the difference between the performance and the type of applicant you're going to get at 12 compared to 22 or something like that? You know what I
Right.
mean? If you're outsourcing from people in other countries who will work for peanuts to handle your YouTube channel,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like look at the YouTube channel, look at the result of that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what we're saying with the budget. It's not about let's get better. We want to see better lighting and all this shit. Yes,
Right.
but
And one last thing, their YouTube channel is doing great. It has 4.42 million subscribers, higher than AEW. AEW is right behind them, but Impact is going to hit like at least 5 million, and hopefully by the end of this year. But yeah, they should be getting 1 or 2 million viewership on Access TV watching the show. Please don't DVR that show. Watch it live. They need all the viewership they can.
but it's putting the best possible people in the positions to succeed.
Right. And
Hmm.
and again, like another example of that, right? Is like, I was saying all the time, like, you'll see like a quick little video shot of like the line waiting to get into a show. Again, if you have the budget to hire a production assistant, okay, you can have them go out there with
And
a DSLR camera and interview people. What match you looking forward to tonight?
and Impact has the budget. They're not broke. Anthem, give Impact enough money to do those things, to make improvements.
Who's your favorite Impact stars? What do you think about the current ongoing feud between Mickey James and Deonna Purrazzo, right? And then you have this content, and then you are paying someone to take that stuff and edit it together in a video package. You know what I mean? Like, that's more interesting content. These things take money. It's like BQ said, it's not about getting more pyro. You know what I mean? It's not about that stuff. It's about, to create content, you got to pay people. You got to pay people to create content. Okay. Like, if you want, you can send Moose and Deonna Purrazzo to do a Q&A in Atlanta, but what about while you've got their time, take them around Atlanta and do some different shoots, do some photo shoots, do some videos that you can circulate around town. Like, that stuff takes money. Money buys you time. Okay, money buys you time. It buys you people's time to shoot things for you, to edit things for you. And like BQ said, the people who do it better charge more. So like, those things are, like, again, those things cost money. When we talk about, like, opening up the budget, like, that's the type of stuff they're talking about. Like, that will create better content. I know.
Okay. Michael Spike's got a question. Impact Wrestling promotion and social media marketing upgrade has to be better upgrade the Impact. Okay, they theme music. Yes. Some of their theme music is good, like Mia Yim, Chris Bay. I always liked his theme. His old theme, not the Bullet Club theme. But half of the stars theme, like Josh Alexander, needs to change, needs to be better. It needs to be like when they was at the top of their game, they had great theme music back then. Moose theme is good, but some other talent theme needs to be better. So I agree on that. And yeah, promote they sell for real on, especially on social media. You know, change those commercial ads on excess TV from older to targeting the younger generation. You know, we don't need to see no old commercial TV ads. I got access TV and I'm tired of seeing them ads like that.
Like I have people who went to the same grad school as me who work at WWE, and they are creating some fire shit, fire. And they go to WWE and they get better. I have people who worked at the company I work at now who have left there and going to WWE, and they're creating fire shit. So you are playing, you know what I mean? Like again, like you pay people. If I'm a high quality content creator, and you're going to pay me to create high quality content for you, you're going to have high quality content on your platform, right? Like it's not like, but again, if you're like, hey Josh, I need you to write a show, and I need you to, manage YouTube, and I need you to manage, like, come on, man. Like, yes, he can do it. Yes, he can do it. If you got time and hands, you can do it, right? But again, if you want it done well, pay somebody who specializes in it.
Yeah, you just get what you pay for at the end of the day. If you're like, there's this cheap apartment down the street, it's $400 a month. I want to save money. I'm going to live there. Your neighbors are going to be people who can only pay $400 a month, and you know what I'm saying? Like the quality of people around. Basically, what I'm saying is, you're going to get what you pay for. You're going to get a type of minds and quality people that you pay for. When you cut corners.
Yep.
That's what you get.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the quality you get.
Yep.
I'm gonna pay you $5 I'm gonna pay a kid $5 to mow my lawn. It's probably gonna look like shit. With the exception, I pay the kid that does my lawn $30 and it looks amazing. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the way it is. But
yep.
There it is.
Yeah, let's wrap this up though.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Happy 4th of July to everybody. Thank you guys for joining us.
Happy 4th of July.
Again, follow me at Talking About Pod.
Yeah, you can follow all my social media in
follow
the
me at Talking
below.
About Pod. Follow BQ at BQ Speaks. Listen, man, this is a lot of fun. I love doing this, with BQ. I love, chatting with you guys. Thank you guys so much for participating. As usual, the best way you can always help out the show is tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's bring more people into the conversation.